Yeah, yeah. Let's go.
So
We just said.
I was in a sensitive space because my shit was bald right here, bald right here. I had a big ass bald spot right here, big ass bald spot. That shit. Listen, when I tell you the shit started off so little right here, like I was like, I thought it was some shit that I went through with a certain young lady in my life when I was younger. I'm like, oh no, that's when Shorty hit me in the head.
Don't
You know, when you're a wild boy, you know, things like that happen.
You heard me?
You said what?
I think that was Shorty Burnt too.
Oh no, not that.
Ah,
Not
man.
that. Not that. We ain't talking. Listen. Okay.
Ah,
Too early to
Back to where I
podcast. We got to leave them 2 hours in.
Back to where we was at. Like, we just,
oh man.
look, he want me to. That's what he wanted. That's what he want. He want
That's
all
the
the smoke.
bus.
He want all
Roll
the
them,
smoke.
roll them.
Right. He want all the smoke. So when my shit I had. So when I was getting shots. They was giving me shots of needles in my head, steroids. So my shit came back all gray. All this shit was gray as shit right here. That shit been reclining. All that shit been reclining. I got like 10 grades now. So my grade game is on 0. Even though not on 0, but I got a whole lot less than I had last year. I ain't died it in about 2 years. But I had died it when I first got graded up. So we're gonna talk about being 40 and I wanna talk about that a little bit. I don't know where I got that idea from, but I'm gonna talk about being 40 with Cool being 40 already and us heading to that Juice you a couple years off. Just how we address that. We're gonna talk about that, but we gotta talk about hold on. I'm sorry, people. This is Brothers Talking Shit podcast, episode 60. We old as shit right now with a 60
Yeah.
with a 60 piece.
6-0.
I am the Flesh Man, also known as the Fat Boy, also known as Mr. I Got No Problem Calling You Broadish. Oh yeah, I'm your Huckleberry.
And I'm Rel, a.k.a. Iceberg Shorty, a.k.a. the king of controversial comments. I said what I said. I'm at what I'm at. The man of international mystery. I'm only drinking water right now, and me and Sprite broke up.
That's good.
Hold on. Who got the kids?
Hmm?
Who got the kids in the breakup?
Oh.
Oh, you got the kids?
I said
You know she win the kids.
And Cool Mike, a.k.a. Dr. Mike, the people's podiatrist, also known as your favorite foot doctor, coming to you from the prophetic podcast, Brothers Talking Shit. They also call me Saturday Night Mike.
With your cool ass.
I totally forgot tonight is Saturday night. That means he gonna go live. Man, you already know who it is, man. It's Young Boy Jew, a.k.a. the Charm Guy, a.k.a. the Juice Man, a.k.a. the freshest, light-skinned, dark-skinned nigga you know. I'm macking, stacking, sipping on this yak, you know. We finna see what's popping today. I'm ready. I'm ready for it.
And I'm surprised you ain't, you know what I'm saying, in the goddamn stew.
Yeah.
Hey, man, today you got to get some time when you're just not there, bro. You got to get some time. So today is actually, that's why I'm like, hold on, Saturday is actually going to be great because I'm home. I'm not around all that energy. It's good, though. I love it. But, you know.
Balance is balance, baby.
Yeah, balance is balance. But so, you know, and then I can get to be on here. I ain't got to like be in and out, blah, blah, blah.
We got Juice. Ain't nothing like when we got when Voltron come together.
Awesome.
Let's address the fact that Cool Mike is laying on what kind of bear is that? A polar bear. He has a polar bear just laid down in one of his rooms.
He got a polar bear run.
Yo, man.
Do it like that.
I gotta get you.
Pop the polar bear, baby.
Yeah, man. Y'all miss a lot. Y'all miss a lot of my conversations with people out there watching, but we just were, you know, basically amazed at the fact that Cool has a different room. Like it's been damn near 2 years we've been on this podcast. So his new room pop up. If he fresh, you like, damn, where is he at right now?
He be adding shit on. He got workers out there just on a 24-hour shift. Like he got some Mexican cats out there he got from Home Depot. It's like, no, let me
listen.
Yo, he always crossed the line at the beginning. Yo,
who, me?
He a line stepper.
Right. He love.
No.
King of hot takes.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. The truth
I'm
is,
supposed to be king of controversial comments. I'm about to get that shit to you.
No, the truth is, Juice say wilder shit than I do. But because I'm dark skinned, shit hit different. Juice light skinned with a big beard, and his shit just slide over. Do you remember everything was white women for all 2018? but I say some shit because I'm dark skinned. I can't grow the beardy guy. Look at that nigga beard. Shit is shining. No. People, let's take 20 seconds and look at Juice's beard. Like, are we kids? Look at this shit. This shit, he grew it in like 8 weeks. Not even 8 weeks. He grew it in like 8 days. But Juice get the pass, and I say Mexicans at Home Depot, like we don't know the situation. And come on.
See, I think I slide my shit like in a comical way. You slide your shit out like, yo, like you
I'm
like
joking.
Rush Limbaugh, like, hey,
hold on.
you got some Mexicans.
Did you just compare me to a little white man?
I mean, a white man that makes a lot of people mad. That's like when you just like you're like
Why can't I be the Dave Chappelle of the
50 rush ball?
Why can't I be the Dave Chappelle of the podcast game or something? Like, why can't I be a black man?
You could be.
Mr. I am Dave. Nah, that ain't gonna work. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room. See, we on it first. Flush. Yeah. Downward. First of all, nobody addresses me as Flush on this podcast, so I'm about to stop calling myself that. I'm just about to be Hanif. Like, because nobody calls me Flush on this podcast but myself.
Hey, but you'll always be Flush though. Like, it doesn't matter if we say it or not. Like, we know who that is.
No, listen, I had a nigga message like, yeah, yo, you gotta help Neef out. I'm like, damn, I'm just Neef now. Fuck it. I gotta live my best life and realize I'm just Neef. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say I'm Flush, but I'm Neef and it's cool. We can rock with it. I'm always Neef. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bad boy, you know.
That's true.
All right,
let's address.
Good, bro.
We the first ones on here to talk about this shit. It's been a wild couple hours. Now, for those of y'all who don't know, we about to drop on Tuesday. So by the time we drop, it's gonna be old. But we address this shit before other niggas address this shit.
We should have dropped today. Fuck it. Since we talking, why not?
Because I gotta send him the
today.
You hear that bitch? That shit he just said. I gotta send him the list.
I can say,
nigga.
Hold on. All right, before we talk about that shit, let's address something else, right?
Okay.
Now you done did it. You done did it to yourself, okay? Terrell Morrell. When I say Terrell Dash Morrell, I want you to know that it's not a sign. That's his middle name. His middle name is Dash. D-A-S-H-E. I got you.
H-E.
Right. So Terrell Dash Morrell, it was Monday, Labor Day, right? So I'm laying around the house chilling, whatever. So he calls my phone. He like, yo, what day? You at work? I'm like, no. He like, what day is it? I'm like, it's Monday. Where's my list? Like, because every Monday I send him the list of what we talked about. My job, listen, you already gave me my flowers. My job is hard. So Mondays I usually send him the list so he can have the list. I send him the list of what we talked about, which used to be his job, but he doesn't want to do it anymore, so I have to do it. So that was his job. No, that's the truth. You want some truth for that ass? I'm giving you some truth.
Yeah.
So the list that he used to do, that he said, I'm not doing no more, you're doing, I have to send it to him. So I sent him the list of what we talked about in order, and I sent him a list of possible names for the podcast. Because whatever we say, I write the shit down, the funny shit that stick out. So this motherfucker calls me, where's my fucking list at? I fucking listen. No, but I was so surprised. Like, he really had me where I wasn't ready for that. We could drop the night. Fuck it. Let's drop the night. I don't give a fuck. I seen your list tonight. I don't give a fuck.
Bet.
I'm about to get I got some cauliflower pizza coming my way tonight, too. Hopefully. She going to the spot. That cauliflower crust is everything.
Oh, we dropping. We dropping
the night. We dropped the night. All right. But let's get back to it. This nigga, Antonio Brown, I wish I knew his motherfucking middle name. Either he's the smartest motherfucker in the NFL, or he's absolutely, positively the dumbest motherfucker in the NFL. Antonio Brown, what happened was he cussed out the GM on, had to be Thursday, because of the GM got suspended. They reinstated him, said he was playing Monday, had to be Friday. Today, which is Saturday, they took his guaranteed money, which is $30 million. This nigga just fucked up $30 million, cussing out the GM. Said he wanted to be released.
Yep.
Got released. Niggas in the world like, this nigga lost his
got released at noon.
And by 4 p.m. Eastern time,
he couldn't sign until 4:01 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. At
and he
4:02,
signed with the New England Patriots for 1 year, $15 million, $9 million guaranteed. Now, those of you who aren't that NFL savvy, that means that man gave up $30 million. He fucked up $30 mil. Did he bounce back all right? You shaking
did
your
he
head.
fuck
Talk
up
to me,
$30
bro.
million? Are you kidding me? He went from playing with fucking Derek Carr to the GOAT. Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback that ever walked planet Earth. What are we talking about, yo? Are you kidding?
But you don't. Hold on.
Are
Let
you
me say
kidding
this
me?
to you. I got 2 words for
Tom
you.
Brady gonna fall off since he was 36. He just turned 42 last month.
I got 2 words for you. Ocho Cinco.
What about him?
He went to the New England Patriots.
Do you think
We
Ocho
don't talk.
Cinco has the same talent as Antonio Brown?
Ocho Cinco wasn't a walk in the park. We're not gonna do that.
What?
Ocho Cinco was that man, dog.
Antonio Brown is the second best wide receiver that Tom Brady has ever had.
Okay, you said that like that. You didn't address what we just said.
I don't have to address
Ocho
anything.
Cinco,
You said Ocho Cinco. What I said to you just now was there's only one wide receiver in 20 years that Tom Brady, who went to the Super Bowl 9 times, has ever had better. And his name is Randy Moss.
I can understand Neef's point. Like, greatness or even, better than average won't equate to success just because you go to New England because of Ocho Cinco. The fact that he was talented, but it just didn't seem to work out the fact that Randy Moss was Randy Moss and it worked out. Now, to Terrell's point, the talent is different. Antonio Brown, to me, is a more skilled receiver than Ocho Cinco, even at his prime, even though Ocho Cinco was really, really good. And so the question is something really going on with Antonio Brown? Or is he like the smart dude in the room and just gangstered his way to another Hall of Fame, maybe the greatest of all time, quarterback, and he can be on his best behavior and then get a
they not gonna play with him. They not gonna play.
I was just gonna say that. Hey, first off, he know, we know. You ain't going over to New England with the bullshit, bro, because you will get your papers today. They built a whole organization and foundation on a program that works. They're not fucking it off for you, nigga. So you gonna come over there and they gonna try to squeeze in one more for this nigga retire. They're not with the bullshit. So I think as of right now, I think that he's potentially the smartest man in the room. We also have to look at it like this, that maybe he's like, look, where I'm at, I'm with the Oakland Raiders. Nigga, I'm getting older. I don't see no ring in the future. I need to get out this situation. And then, hey, something come along, I could probably scoop in and get in there. You never know. Nigga might have been talking to them niggas behind scenes.
Yeah.
Well, he got Rosen. What's the main man at? Is it Rosen?
Drew Rosenhaus.
Drew Rosenhaus. Right. To me, it's like a thing where as though it's not another popular, very known fact is the New England, you have to be very precise in your route running. Now, for those of y'all who are not football fans, you might not understand it. That means it's about timing. It's about you doing what the route says instead of doing your own thing.
That was Ocho Cinco problem. He ain't learned the playbook, they said.
Right. And the playbook ain't that easy.
Yeah, you're right. So here's the question. Does he play tomorrow? Yes or no?
They said he can't because the trade went through too late.
Okay.
But he would have.
Oh.
And they said it might have been.
How can he?
They said because he could, because there's something about a 4 o'clock. I literally just read it. They said something about a 4 o'clock deadline and how the Raiders cut him, but that he could play technically if he signed for a team that played on Monday night. He could play Monday night, just however the rule was, but he can't play Sunday night for the Patriots against the Steelers.
Oh, Pittsburgh like swoop.
Yeah, they definitely like swoop.
That would have been crazy.
To light it up. Don't get it twisted. He's trying to play.
We just talking about slants and goes.
That's my whole twist.
That's yards go right.
Right. Somebody would have to tell him a 5 and then or 7 and then.
For sure.
Yeah.
And he's a professional, and so is Tom Brady. That would have worked.
That'd have worked.
We gonna see. It's gonna be something definitely worth looking. I'm not so.
The NFL stupid for that rule.
I'm not so with it's going to work.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
TV for ratings. Like,
so you don't think that he's a precise route runner?
I know he is. But
But in that system, can he learn the system? I guess because he
too.
didn't do that in Pittsburgh apparently, and you probably lean on him because he was successful. But apparently, like when Ben threw him under the bus, that was endemic of what he did, kind of break off routes and do stuff like that. So will that work in Pittsburgh? I think he's gonna get down personally. He's gonna get down.
He ain't got no choice.
But Randy Moss used to just cut the gear and throw his hand up, and Tom Brady used to launch it. I was at the game when they beat the shit out of the Redskins. I saw it with my own 2 eyes.
But listen, Randy Moss is a different kind of player. Randy Moss is throw it up to me.
Yeah.
Antonio Brown is a more of a,
shifty
footwork crazy.
Yeah.
But then you got to tone it down. Like Randy Moss at his worst is a walk in a park compared to.
Randy
don't think so?
No, Randy Moss ain't had social media. I think that's the only difference.
Even with
His antics would have been covered much more. You know what I'm saying?
Was T.O. not worse than Randy Moss?
As far as what?
Just
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think T.O. actually got caught up in more of the media than Randy, but Randy was pretty bad since like high school.
No. I'm talking about That's not okay. I'm not talking about the street shit. Randy Moss is more of a street nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about more of a
from Rand, West Virginia. That's funny.
Huh?
I said from Rand, West Virginia.
Right. Street nigga all day. Ain't no streets in West Virginia, but he
ain't
makes
no streets in Rand. They don't even have a mayor.
Right. So
they're like Yonkers.
How do you even know that? It's a miracle to me.
Rand University. You never watched the 30 for 30? Are you kidding?
Nah, I never watched it.
I seen it, but I forgot that they didn't have a mayor.
Hang up. Not you, Juice. Get up the podcast. The fuck you mean you've never seen the 30 for 30?
I'm gonna watch it though. I'm gonna fill it in. All right, but as far as Randy Moss did little things on the field, I see AB got to really going to New England. Could you have seen T.O. going to New England? I couldn't see that.
I could have.
I could.
Yeah.
He should have.
We're gonna see.
I can see T.O. going.
Because listen, you're not cussing Bill Belichick the fuck out.
If he messed this up,
going to try it. This has already been said. Don't get it twisted. There was no ink put to paper.
Oh no,
he said they wouldn't put up with your antics.
Yo, that mean he was doing that on purpose, yo. If he don't come to meetings and fall asleep and do all that kind of stuff, that mean he was doing it on purpose. And we realized he did get traded to Oakland.
But he never said he didn't want to go. So either they real smart or they just got lucky. But this right here, if New England can't do it with you, this might be his last big check.
He's gonna be a minimum contract, dude.
First of all, listen, you go from $9 million to losing $30 million guaranteed. We can downplay it all day, nigga. That's a. I hope I get this shit right.
But was it about the money though? He won a ring, man.
Right.
He won a ring, bro.
Hold on.
Right.
What makes you say that?
Because I'm gonna tell you like this. If it was me, okay. If I was just an egotistical,
we're not talking about you. We're talking about AB. Okay,
I think even him as an egotistical person with an ego, right? This person that's just all about himself, falling asleep in the means to make a point. If it was just about the money, dog, he would have got the money, played, did what he did, not been really like a great like team guy. And just still played and got his bread and fucked it off. This nigga went through a process. He went through a checklist of things he was going to deliberately do to make a statement. So obviously he had an end result that he got.
But end of the day, the problem was in Pittsburgh too. When you hear Ryan Clark talk and certain players, they say he's very selfish. He's very about his stats.
But let's be real.
Winning.
Do you want to be in Pittsburgh too right now? Like, do you want to be with Pittsburgh or you don't want to be with either team? Because it was the Steelers. Oakland, they have a great fan base. But who's popping right now, nigga? Like, there's a team that's popping that has showed in the system they can get it done, and that's New England. There's other teams that's up and coming. You got the Cleveland Browns who might really make a shake. So it's like, what do I do? Do I stay with this fucking team and I see where they're going? Pittsburgh, fuck them. I need to do something. I need to think of something. Dog, let me tell you something. A deal like what just happened right now does not happen out of thin air. He must have known or had some clue that they would scoop him up.
Right.
But, bro, all he had to do was say this. Before he got traded to Pittsburgh, yo, I don't want to be in Oakland. I won't sign back. Like, I won't come. You get what I'm saying? So, end of the day, if he didn't want to be in Oakland, He could have prevented some of this. That's why I don't think it's as planned as.
But how did he know he was gonna get traded to?
He ain't no trade clause.
Yeah.
But I know you don't got no trade clause, but you can say, "Yo, I'm not going to," or "I'm not coming." It's players that do that. It's players that give I'm not going. If I go, I'm not going to turn. You could take your ball and go.
I'm not going to sign, and it deters them. Yeah.
Right, and then they cannot.
Right, but I think Oakland was willing to give him guaranteed money, and his whole thing was like promise him guaranteed money if he re-signed. And I think his whole thing was playing for guarantees. So it might have been something he had a shorter list, looked at the contract, figured out he could work his way out of the contract, and worked his way out of the contract.
But this the twist, though.
Now listen, but also, I think Juice's point about like, is it about the money? Sometimes it really ain't. In general terms, if you, like Terrell said, catching balls from Tom Brady is going to be different than catching balls from Derek Carr and whatever else is going on. You could parlay this. If you're a Super Bowl winning quarterback, if you're a Super Bowl winning wide receiver for the New England Patriots next year, you done parlay that into more than 30 million guaranteed. That's
and listen, this is the other thing that makes me think he wanted to be in Oakland. When he got to Oakland, he signed the extension. So I don't think it's more of a thing like he signed a deal after he got there.
Well, that's
for
smart.
Like 2 more years.
Smart business
contract.
But if you don't want to be there, why do that?
I may want to fuck her today. I may not want to fuck her tomorrow type shit.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? It's just like, at the end of the day, when we sit at the table and I'm trying to get the cake, I'm going to say what you want to hear. I'm going to bend and break. I don't know how I'm feeling next week, but I'm going to make sure them loops is in that contract that I can get the fuck out.
This nigga, hold on, it's the same nigga who went through a whole dilemma about his helmet. We all come on, listen.
I think it's all stage now.
Yeah, it was all stage.
We all listen. No, listen. He was serious about that helmet shit. Dog, listen. They put it out. This ain't no new thing they put out this year. They made it clear that after a certain amount of time, certain helmets are going to have, they're going to be moved out of here. We're not going to use them anymore. They're not safe. So you already knew this. He wanted them niggas to wait till the last minute to do some shit. They get mad when it's a long line. Like, dog, listen, end of the day, you already knew this was coming. You knew what year this helmet came out. You had this shit since you started. You had this helmet since you started. It's people who had that same helmet who last year went to a new helmet.
I bet he's happier today than he's been in a long time.
Did you see his reaction when he found out he was released? He called his grandma and was like, "Mama, I'm released." He started running through the house. "I'm released. I'm free."
That's the problem.
His daddy
real. Wasn't around. His daddy need to rip his ass up. His grandma raised him. That's why he on that punk ass shit. First of all, you got a haircut like Nino Brown.
He gonna be.
No, listen. We've been grinding niggas up. We need to grind this nigga up. First of all, you walk around with a haircut like Nino Brown.
But he ain't got that no more. He got like 2 dreads.
This nigga stuck to bump this motherfucking head. And this nigga 30 years old. So he violating. You ain't no little nigga. You 30 years old.
Only people can have braids in their head at 30 is Kawhi Leonard and Pusha T. That's it.
Hey, time out. Hey, Nino.
You got my hold on. We gonna make that. Hold on. We gonna put that shit down right now. Only niggas over 30 that can wear fucking braids is Kawhi Leonard
and Pusha Terrence.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, man. I'm tired of seeing. Hold up, real quick. I'm tired of seeing y'all old niggas over 30 walk around with mohawks, like with the shit in the back all dumb. Come on, grow the fuck up, cuz.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Juice.
But hey, I was just saying, like, no, Nino was wild for the haircut, bro. A little hump in his head.
Nigga, that was 1992, nigga. That was 27 years ago. This nigga was 3 years old when Nino Brown came. This nigga shit is actually, oh my God, this nigga shit is dumb. And then this nigga feet all fucked
might
up.
punch in too, just in case y'all see it pop up.
What'd you say?
Okay.
I said our fifth wheel might punch in too.
Right.
Okay.
And then this nigga walking around with them fucked up ass feet. Like, this nigga be fucking up, man. Like, let's not act like he ain't that smart, yo. He just got lucky with this.
But listen,
he got lucky with this New England.
Nah, I don't think luck happens like that. No. I don't think it goes from I get out of situation because he, for me, it's like, okay, you've been in the news. He has been in the news. I mean, enough for me to where I haven't really paid attention. I know he's been in the news. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you in the news, you talking shit, it's a big deal. okay, now they're not fucking with you. You end up with New England. Like, how does that even happen? I mean, how does New England even get to a place to consider that you may get out of your contract and they can sign you? It's just not. I think this is stage, bro. And I think he's saying, yo, I'm getting older. I want to get a ring, and then I want to try to maybe negotiate and get some more money later. You know, he could take his chance. I think it was definitely staged. I mean, it's social media.
Tom Brady could get hit by that new middle linebacker that Pittsburgh just drafted tonight and be out for the fucking season. And it could be over.
Before them niggas, if it even looks crazy, they gonna blow the whistle and throw a flag up and say it was offside. Like, dog, they gonna try by any. Hey, Tom Brady is protected.
You know what? Let me ask y'all this. First of all, we gotta address it. The smartest motherfuckers in the room work for Pittsburgh because you just got picks and whatever little shit you got from them, and it might have been a 3rd round pick, 5th round pick, however that shit worked out. Nigga, Oakland is left with nothing on a team already. First of all, let's talk about Oakland that lost. What's my man's name? Khalil Mack, who was damn near Defensive Player of the Year, and then Amari Cooper went to Dallas and balled the fuck out. So y'all motherfuckers is fucking up. And y'all gave fucking Gruden. Y'all gave Gruden 10 years removed from. Y'all gave Gruden 13 years removed from the league. 10-year. Like, who the fuck is making decisions around there? I don't know why
John Gruden is so great. What are we talking about?
Then they gave. Hold on. And I like.
Y'all want to know?
But
Do you want to know?
Hold on. Mike Mayock is good on TV. This shit all started with him and Mark Mayock because Mike Mayock the fuck out. Who was the GM? Who never been a GM? He was on TV doing draft shit, knowing college players. He the GM now. Them niggas got into it and they released the nigga.
Man, I'm on Mike Mayock's side out the most out of all these niggas. Out of the Raiders, out of John Gruden, out of AB, in general term, because he seems the most proficient in what it is that he does. We could say that he just did the analyst stuff, but when I looked at analyst stuff, I listened to people like him because it sounded like he know what he was doing. Now, if we talking about he has the mindset to look at film and evaluate players, more or less with somebody that's kind of been through that, that's, you know, you're looking for maybe he got the bro culture, you know what I mean, bypass, but I don't think he was incompetent in the situation. Ain't nothing he did to me. If anything, I think it's going to come out later that he and John Gruden was not seeing eye to eye in this situation. I think John Gruden was with it, and Mike Mayock was on some, we need to protect the organization if I'm really being the GM of the Oakland Raiders and not just a yes boy. To me, he don't strike me.
End of the day, having I think when I look at the roster, it's a bunch of young cats and it's a bunch of real older guys as far as Oakland. When you make that trade, whoever the decision it was to make that trade, when you give up a 3rd round, whatever you give up, you're left with nothing. You're left with nothing right now. Mm-hmm. And I agree with you as far as Mike Mayock. I don't see him being a guy who's open arms as far as AB. Yeah, he's gonna do what he got to do on TV when that time comes. But at the end of the day, man, somebody fucked up. Like, that's like somebody fucked the pack up. Like, somebody fucked the pack up. Like, somebody got to suffer for this shit. But the Pittsburgh Steelers look smart at the end.
Because John Gruden got $80 million left.
Oh, your hands going away.
Man, John Gruden is a blonde-haired, blue-eyed motherfucker who sounds great when he talks, and he did the little QB shit. He sit down with the college motherfuckers, and this is America, dog. At the same time, we still talking about, you know what I'm saying, NFL, dog. Niggas fleeing for their lives. You know what I'm saying? That's what we talking about. Yeah, we talking because they doing whatever for a check. They doing whatever for a check. I'm gonna just keep it real. Charm guy gonna keep it real tonight, goddamn. You know, at the end of the day, John Gruden, these coaches, I mean, we was on cap ass. But let's not forget why they wouldn't hire him. So we already know y'all don't like niggas. So anytime motherfucker, you know, Johnny, he was great on fucking, you know what I'm saying, Monday Night Football. He's on Monday Night Football. He's on Monday Night Football. Yeah.
He's on Monday Night Football. Right.
Yeah, so, I mean, he was great. So we just said, you know, and everybody, you know, social media, when the social media age, I was one of them. Hey, man, John Gruden need to coach. Now, by the time he got the job, I had stopped saying that shit at least 4 years. Right. You know what I'm saying? But it was like, we was like, man, he ought to come back. Bill Cowher. People talking about even Bill Cowher. Damn, the Texans need Bill Cowher. But no, it get to a place where it's like, nigga, it's done. You probably really don't know what you're doing. You going in there with an ego. You paid already. You talking to these players any kind of fucking way, and they looking at you like, nigga, fuck you.
Yeah.
Nigga, this ain't when the Bucks win the Super Bowl.
1999.
It wasn't even his team, yo.
2001 was it? 2001?
That was Tony Dungy's team. You're right, but it's kind of dog. You're old. Like it's about what's my man name? Sean McVay. Is that my man with the Rams?
The Rams, yeah.
It's more of that. More of even the coach in Pittsburgh. Like, and he went through a lot. Like I think honestly, and I know y'all AFC North guys. So y'all AFC North, right?
Yeah,
I'm
AFC
North
South.
guys. Right. So AFC North guys, y'all don't really want to, y'all don't got no love for Tomlin. But end of the day, I think really Pittsburgh is better by subtraction. You know what I'm saying? Without the drama, like end of the day, Pittsburgh looks like the smartest motherfuckers in the room because no matter what you got, even if it's a 3rd round pick, you see Oakland left with nothing. You get what I'm saying? Like the Oakland Raiders, man, that shit is. I know Al Davis.
Third
in his grade.
deal.
Right. Like, damn, what the fuck did I leave? My son fucking it all the way up. And then
Just
you talking
win,
about going
baby,
to Vegas.
win.
Yeah.
What you going to Vegas with? Like, they might as well go ahead and trade main man Carr. They might as well go ahead and trade him and just
Start
start
over.
brand new. Yeah, because the way it's looking, like when we even talk about the draft, like I remember I'm a draft guy. And don't get me wrong, I'm not the guy who knows every single person and everything like that. But when I remember when they drafted their 1st round pick, which is the defensive end, people was like, "Yo, he shouldn't have went that early." So they picks was looking crazy. Like it's looking like that fucking whatever that fire they got going on over there. Like they got that shit going on in Oakland too with the Ray. Like Marshawn, good thing Marshawn got away from that. Like that shit ain't looking good. I know Oakland probably ready to get rid of them motherfuckers. The way that shit looking.
Well, yeah, because they're going to Las Vegas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they going to Las
I
Vegas
always
next
thought
year.
Oakland where football go to die, man. Like it's like football exile, bro. Like
what happens when it goes to Vegas and money gets involved? Real money.
Oh, it'll just be right there. You know what I'm saying?
This nigga. Yeah.
Hey, dog, let's not act like that ain't finna happen. Listen, dog.
Oh no,
You
that's
going
gonna happen. Well, I'm just
gonna
saying
happen.
it's a real thing, and I mean,
I think they'll do better when they go to Vegas.
They not gonna be good. The way it's looking, like Mike Mayock and Gruden.
Yeah.
Somebody fucking up. Somebody gonna understand on this shit.
Oh, they ain't gonna never blame it on John Gruden. You know what I'm saying? Mike Mayock has to be fired next week.
It's
Gruden.
Gruden got rid of Matt and Cooper. Mayock wasn't even there yet.
Mm-hmm.
Mayock get a letter out like, yo, we finding him, and say you got to be all in or not. Mayock put the letter out and say, hey, he might be suspended or whatever. John Gruden say he probably gonna play Monday. That's Gruden, man.
Right. Oh yeah. Oh listen, y'all.
You can walk like that because you 80 million in. He don't know how to talk to them kids, and I say kids like millennials. I don't mean like children. I mean like they different. You know what I'm saying?
But see, you know what it is too. Like, and you're right about that. Like, it's parent shit. It's like mom and dad, and mom backhand and mom going to meet dad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They trying mom and pop their way. Yeah, for sure.
Because listen, no, because Mayock tried to put the thing down. He gonna be suspended, and then it's like 8 hours later. He's playing on Monday night. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
They got Mayock like a punk ass parent.
That's what I'm saying. And I don't think he that.
Nah, he not. Mayock got the butt out. Don't hit the kids.
Yeah.
Ruin that mom. Don't hit my baby.
He ain't no dude. Didn't he play or something? He ain't no little dude. You know what I'm saying? That matters.
Oh, listen, I think Mayock can rumble him.
That's what I said. I think he wanted to smoke. That matters.
Yeah.
Fuck you say? Mayock probably took his shit off too. Like, rumble me.
Yeah, man.
How you feel about that? How you feel about that, boy? How you feel about that, this whole AB thing?
I think he got, I got like 3 points. Peace, everybody. What's going on, man?
What's up, Jordan? What's poppin'?
I think he got like, for one, I think he got CTE. I'm not even joking. I'm not joking. I'm dead serious. Yo,
who got CTE? AB?
Yeah, I think he got CTE. His behavior too erratic, bro. Like that's a
This
sign.
nigga be all over the place. He all over
That's
the
what
place.
I'm saying. Like I think he got CTE. I think that Mike Mayock pulled up on him old school
Mike Mayock was a safety. That's what
Yeah,
that's
what I'm saying. He pulled up old school. That ain't gonna fly with somebody like AB. And I think that what's gonna happen with this, like, I think it's a lot of things. So for one, the Raiders, the Davis family isn't independently wealthy. I think they were trying to get out of that deal, just same way they were trying to get out that Mac deal. They don't have money.
But why sign him to the extension though? They signed him to an extension.
Yo, you know what's up with NFL extensions, bro. What Terrell say last week?
Ain't guaranteed, yo. That's it. The fuck they signed me to a $100 million extension. If it's only guaranteed $3 million, you know what I got?
You ain't getting it.
Yeah. Hey yo, hold on, real quick.
So you saying they just don't have the money to pay him anyway?
Yo,
I heard that yo, they one of the brokest.
No, yeah, they not independently wealthy. They not independently wealthy, bro. That's why they lost Vegas money. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And when you can get out of bad deals, that's what they doing.
Stop putting yourself. The Gruden deal is a bad deal. These niggas is the king of bad
10 years? 10. You give a coach 10 years guaranteed?
What? $100 million.
What? Who deserves a 10-year deal? Bill
Belichick. $1 million.
10-year deal.
Bill Belichick. Who else deserves a 10-year deal? I would get the young boy with the young boy with the Rams. I
wouldn't give him 10 years either.
Yeah, nobody 10 years.
But I'm just saying,
is worth 10 years, $100 million, and his name is Bill Belichick.
That's it.
From just showing and proving.
And Nick Saban in college. That's
Not
it.
even Nick Saban. You don't get no pass for everybody just coming there because y'all paying them anyway. And Nick Saban don't get no pass for that.
I mean,
fuck no.
On his terrain, he does. I'm just saying, like, there's no the
bro.
game.
Hold on.
The game evolves too quickly to be giving niggas 10 years, bro.
Hold on. I think you might want to, and y'all might think I'm tripping. Andy Reid, the mind Andy Reid got.
Here he fucking go. Here he go, this Homer shit.
They ain't Homer. He playing Kansas City.
Go ahead, yo. Go ahead.
Andy Reid.
He in Kansas City.
Yo, before you, hey, Ralph, who facilitating the podcast today? I got a question.
Nigga, I'm always facilitating.
Oh shit.
It's like no, I'm playing. Don't be that guy.
I just want to know why this man's like your man Neef. Everything go back to Philly, bro. Like, everything go back to Philly.
Yo, that wasn't even no Philly shit though.
Go back to Philly, bro.
That wasn't even no Philly shit though, bro.
Everything go back to Philly, bro.
Time. You know what the best
Hold on.
is, yo?
Hey, bro, you talk about the economy, like, yo, the economy going crazy in China. You see what they doing? He be like, but listen, did you know that China got the Philly cheesesteaks over in China now?
First off, let me correct you.
They put shrimp in the Philly cheesesteak.
You'll never hear you'll never hear Neef talk about the economy. First off, so you already fucking it up, okay? Secondly, look at that offense. ain't even no Philly shit. That offense that he doing in Kansas City ain't never.
I'm sorry. When the last time Andy Reid won anything?
Never.
Oh.
First of all,
I'm just checking
that offense. That's the same offense that Alex Smith ran, and it ain't look like that until Patrick Mahomes got there.
Right, but who drafted him? Who traded up for him?
Yeah. I mean, he got him.
Well, that offense was looking good with Alex Smith.
No, not like
he
that.
Got hurt. It's not looking that good. It's not this.
Not 80-yard bombs.
Like, money looking funny.
80-yard bombs.
And nigga, hold on. Don't let Sammy Watkins get the fuck off the injury reserve. Take the Band-Aid off.
He's done. The done.
Listen, if that nigga even come a little bit close to what he could do.
He got that foot that lasts 8 weeks. It break every year.
This nigga, man, he can't take a hit. You shouldn't be playing receiver.
His foot break every year.
That's crazy.
Yo, this the only nigga. Hold on. This the only nigga talk economy with a fucking bowl of noodles. This nigga deep. What is that? Chili? No, this nigga got some. What is that? A bowl of. That ain't even oodles and noodles. Like that's some shit.
He's better.
I bet he got seasonings in his bag. This nigga got hot sauce. And, you at work? He's better at work. Like, listen, we can only have Jordan on at work. Him at the house is not gonna do it. That shit don't work. This nigga's on camera, on the podcast. Just you couldn't eat the noodles before you came on. Like you knew he was coming. He look like I need these noodles for the podcast. Ezekiel Elliott it the fuck up.
All right, let's get on it with man. Let's go.
You grinding me up too.
I had to get you.
Hey, you on the snaps today, dog. You
I'm
sniping
glad.
on
Listen,
niggas.
I'm glad Jordan got handy with that mute button. This nigga was terrible without the mute button. Hey, Juice, what's wrong, Juice? You a little sleepy?
No, nigga, I'm high. I'm always high, nigga. I smoke every day.
I'm nothing, nigga. I'm high.
Hey, smoke weed every day.
Every day.
Every day.
No doubt.
All
right.
Yeah, man.
Are we done? We done with
Yeah, we over that shit. Let's move on, man. We ain't fucking talking about
anything. I don't know where I want to go. Y'all want to talk about Nicki retiring?
No.
Fuck her. Bye.
We gotta address it. No, we gotta address it, yo.
You said it. That's it. Like,
Retire. Nah, she cool. She dope. I mean, she doing
nigga,
thing,
I thought she already retired, nigga. I thought she retired 3 albums ago.
Is that
she
the
like,
cop
know what?
Is that the cop out?
Nicki Minaj is like NBA players. Like, them NBA, like, Nicki Minaj is Carmelo Anthony.
Dang,
You're retired, you just don't know it.
Hey, look though, I think the song she had with Megan Thee Stallion was dope. I think she dope. I don't know why she felt the need to say she retired, but I think she dope, man. I think she had a chance. I mean, we was like looking at it like, I know me, my music guys, we were talking, we was like, yo, if Nicki keeps this up, bro, she might be able to really just go ahead and do her thing again. So I guess her retirement may be more so just fatigue, man, with this shit. Like, yo, I've done it.
From what, yo?
Just trying to do it.
You remember the whole line when he said that's like being the tallest midget?
Yeah.
Right.
There was no fucking pass. There was nobody around.
It'd have been better for her not to even said it and just kept doing what she doing, which is nothing.
Right.
I mean, with a radio, like transition, like she act like she don't see it. All right, so she's gonna have a whole chapter in the history of what's the right word? Women in hip hop, right?
Correct.
Period. Whether you like her or not, and she can tour in perpetuity. Like them people are gonna grow with her and like her songs, and will
bass will always be a thing.
Yeah, she need to know that she too old to be acting like that. So just be the normal self you are. Parlay this Queen Radio into some sponsorship that you get paid for. Keep doing that. Do 50 Cent type situations where you make a song once a year and it's the soundtrack to some other platform that you're just doing, and you're nice ride off into media and not just being a rapper. Nobody is checking for no 13 songs every other year from you no more. But it's been like that for a while, so I don't know why she don't know that.
It's just a twist. She's not that interesting. Who listens to Queen Radio?
A lot of people, not us.
Do they? I didn't know. When that shit dropped, I didn't know. Do you do it every week? What's the schedule like?
I don't even know.
Hey man, Jordan has inspired me, dog. I'm about to whip these hoes up.
You write it down. The Noodle episode.
Hey, Juice.
What's up?
Noodle episode.
Juice. It's these over everything, bro.
But yeah, no. I've had those. I know those are dope. Those
See, see, the real niggas know.
Yeah, real niggas know. We know what's up.
No, listen. Guess what? I was a real nigga at 5 years old, nigga. I swear to God, I can't stand the smell of fucking noodles, dog. The smell of that shit. I ate that shit so much as a kid, dog.
I ain't had no meat today, so I've been trying to hold out.
Yeah, so back to Nicki, right?
No.
You said no. No, I'm cool with that too. I have no problem with that.
I'm gonna tell you who we need to talk about. Nicki, we get it by, you're going, okay. This Malik Yoba shit, we gotta talk about that shit.
Oh, let's go.
Hey, listen, dog. Listen. I'm talking to everybody in TV land on this one. I am a heterosexual black man. I want a woman who was born a woman, who has ovaries and a vagina. If I don't want to mess with someone who isn't that, like they was born with the dick and then they cut it off because they just, that was their thing, how they felt, that has nothing to do with me. I don't want that. I don't want that. And that doesn't make me homophobe, transphobic, or anything. Also, if you're a nigga that likes to fuck with someone who is now a woman with a dick, whether it's there or not, you like men and you're gay. You need to just say that you're gay. No one's tripping, bro. You're gay. It's 2019. It's here. It's around. I work with people that are gay in the music industry, people that are assistants or whatever. It's cool. Nobody's tripping on that. As a real nigga, you gotta know you're around niggas that may have a sexual preference that's not your own. That doesn't mean that we not friends. That don't mean that we not cool. You got family members like that. Well, it doesn't matter. That's your thing. Now, I'm not going to hang out where you hang out at, obviously. Because if I go out to the club, it's usually for some cat. Okay, there's no cat where you're at. I'm not over there. But that doesn't mean that I don't have that I'm gonna disrespect you. I'm not gonna love you. I'm not gonna treat you as family. We're not bigots here. But please, let's stop trying to push this agenda that straight men should also adopt transsexual women a part of the cat group. Now, you ain't in the cat group.
Real quick, let me go real quick. First of all,
that's the thing.
Hold on real quick. Cool, what are you eating?
Pretzels, yo. Come on, keep going.
All right, so, okay. Secondly, to me, it felt like, what? Where did this come from, bro? Like, did somebody ask you something? Why? To me, it felt like an attention grab. Because it's like, who's talking about
somebody
Malik
asked
Yoba?
him. Well, it can't. So rumor has it that he is, you know what I mean, of the
Switch lane.
What is he? What is he?
He prefers men. That's like, that's a legendary. Yeah, that's been like a thing. That's been like an unspoken truth for like years.
Yeah.
And that's why he kind of like fell off the platform, almost like off the map a little bit.
Why?
Hollywood. But there's no, hold on.
Well, he went from New York Undercover to goddamn Empire. What are you talking about? That's a long drop.
No. He had the little. He got hit by the car on I Think I Love My Wife or.
Bro, that was like 20 years later. That was like 20 years later.
One of them joints.
Tyler Perry shit. How many plays are you watching?
That was like 20 years later.
How many plays are you watching?
That wasn't a play. It was a movie. First of all, I don't watch that shit.
Nigga.
So y'all not gonna box me in that corner.
Yeah,
I don't watch that shit.
Every week you tell me, hey, what's some Tyler
Hold
on.
If you watched the last episode, I said very clearly, Tyler Perry fucked up
I didn't watch the last
episode.
Well,
you were there, motherfucker. Tyler Perry fucked the coochie up. I told you that.
You try to name that podcast too. You try to name the podcast that too.
Because he do fuck the coochie up.
Milk
if you're trying to get some coochie, don't watch no Tyler Perry shit. Because you're going to laugh at some shit. Your girl going to be like, oh, you think that's funny? Oh, that's what you want? It fucks up the coochie. Now, back to the
Tyler Perry. I'm like SpongeBob. All right, man, I'm out. I'm with what SpongeBob mean. I'm out.
Oh yeah, that shit was hilarious. Hey, he told me I got some women coming through.
But here's how it all happened, dog. There was a guy who killed himself. There was a video that went viral where he admitted that he liked transsexual women, and that was what he liked, and it went viral. I think upon this going viral, the dude was heavily embarrassed. He killed himself. Mm-hmm. So after that happened, Malik Yoba decided to step up and say how he felt about the situation. And I totally agree with that. I totally agree with having humanity and compassion for someone who feels that way, that feels like they need to kill themselves. I mean, we've talked about this on this podcast. We don't want anybody to thinking, that we're bigots and we're anti this and anti that. We're going to always speak our truth and what the truth is. So we're not against anybody killing themselves or getting killed or whatever. And we have compassion for people that feel this way. But there's becoming this situation where I feel like there's an attack on real masculinity and real manhood, and especially with black men. And it's like, there's always a black man that's at the forefront of saying that he's fucking with this shit as a straight man. Look, if you're a gay man, we get it. That's not newsworthy. But you're saying I'm a heterosexual man and this is okay. It's like we're always.
You're not heterosexual, bro.
You're not.
And that's okay. Like in this world right now, this is the thing that fucks me up. there's no better time for you to just be who you are.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, the people who have something to say about you being who you are the bad guys. Before, when our ancestors or before in time, being, you know, who you are, it's like almost, even when you watch shows, you got to have a gay guy, a lesbian, somebody. You have to incorporate that into what you're doing, because, or it looks like you're not.
Which is why
Malik
Ball could make it if he came out if he was gay. I don't know why he thinks.
I mean, he already, to me, that's what you said.
Yeah,
and
but
dog, live your life, my G.
Like something wrong with straight man, but you gotta.
But then the shit what make me think it's suspect, or you think it's for attention, because then the next day you like, oh, thanks for all the support I'm receiving. But nigga, you looking for the come up, you looking for the attention. Ain't nobody checking for you, bro.
But at the end of the day, have we really grown as a society, or are we still bashing people that are gay? Because it seems like these brothers are having trouble saying that they're probably just gay.
I don't know where's the trouble at, because at the end of the day, there's no better time to come out and say that's your situation. Because you're not going to receive any kind of, if you're an NBA player, motherfuckers are going to tiptoe how they go around you when, and maybe the 80s, it wouldn't have been that way. You get what I'm saying? We remember 1991, players didn't want Magic Johnson to play in the All-Star game with AIDS. You get what I'm saying? So you couldn't even pull that shit right now. You get what I'm saying? So the way how sensitive things are, dog, you can be free in your space more now than ever.
And it was just Karl Malone bitch ass, by the way.
Yeah, Karl Malone a straight hoe. Sorry.
And that knee up was an offensive foul. Like, I had to beat him the fuck up
all the time, dog.
And he a little husky too. First of all, let's be clear. That husky shit don't mean nothing. Like, I will beat you the fuck up, stronger shit, dog. Like,
he's from Louisiana, though.
I ain't been to the gym in years, nigga. I will knock you clean the fuck
up.
I will beat you the fuck up.
He's 6'8". Flush, he's 6'8" from Louisiana.
I still get him out of here.
That ain't no easy go.
I ain't say it was easy. He might get me. He had to fight me every day, though.
Who you said you'd fight? You said
Karl Malone. Oh, Floyd Mayweather?
Bruce Lee. You say somebody.
Floyd Mayweather. No, I said, give me Floyd Mayweather and the best of you. Like, I whoop Floyd Mayweather ass in the
sport. You would be asleep.
You crazy. Yeah. He can't knock out a little nigga. You not knocking that nigga ain't hitting that fucking hard.
Some niggas you just gotta put you gotta put the pound on, bro. There might be a couple niggas like
I'm not talking about in the ring with gloves. I can't do that with Floyd Mayweather.
Yo, he'll beat you in a phone booth.
You crazy. Listen, no. Don't listen. Just because he'll beat listen, I love you. Just because he'll beat you in the phone booth, don't mean he gonna beat me in the phone booth. Yo. You can be comfortable with that. I'm gonna slam the shit out this nigga. And the best of you.
You can't touch him.
Floyd fucking you up, yo.
You fucking crazy. All right.
Flush.
Tell that nigga come here. Tell that nigga look at T-ass. Tell that nigga say some shit to my girl. I'll beat Floyd Mayweather to clean the fuck up. I'm not talking about.
Let T.I. walk up on him.
Hey, T.I.
That's because he legally know he can't punch him.
Ain't nobody worth. That nigga don't punch nobody. All he do is dip, dodge, and hold. Come on, man, stop that shit.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Them fists gonna be different out in the streets, bro.
Listen, though, he don't hit that fucking hard. I'm talking about a fight. A fight is I can slam you, I can grab you.
Hell you out.
If he all that.
By the time you grab him,
listen,
hit you 10 times.
We not talking about Mike, and it don't hurt. If it don't hurt fucking Pacquiao, that shit don't hurt me. All right, listen, it can hurt you, cuz, and that's cool.
Wait, nigga. Did you say if it don't hurt Pacquiao? Did you just say that?
He's a trained boxer.
Listen.
He's a trained boxer.
My jaw ain't sweet. I done had niggas get their shit off on me, and I'm still out here.
Not professionals, though.
Dog, listen, that nigga don't hit that fucking hard, bro.
All right.
Listen, Mike Tyson don't walk around with 6 security guards. If you that nice and you that thorough, what the fuck you need 6 security guards for?
Because people gonna try you. And Mike used to have security.
Mike don't. Because niggas don't want that smoke. I don't want that Mike
50.
smoke. At 50 years old. Oh, so you telling me you want that Mike smoke at 50 before you want that Floyd smoke?
No, I don't want any of it.
Oh, all right.
I don't want any of it.
Because I'm about to get you checked out.
I'm not gonna let Floyd hit me.
Listen. Hey, listen. Cousin, if you can't check out Floyd, we jumping that nigga like, fuck that nigga. Bitch ass nigga.
That's a fact.
Listen. And if you're there, Y'all better not let Floyd get one up on me. Y'all better
That's
roll
a
with
fact.
me.
That's a fact. We
Fuck
gonna
that
probably have to
nigga.
jump him from start though.
Now, what
No,
it
we
look
not
like?
jumping him from start. Give me a fair one. I got him.
Hold up. It's about 1,000 pounds on here. We got a jump little 150-pound Floyd Mayweather. You talking about you?
All right,
knock
well,
him out.
listen. When he lie to you the fuck up, I'm be like, hold up, y'all. Jordan said let him have it. He like, yo, he killing Jordan out there. No, Jordan said he got it.
No,
Fuck that little nigga. That
the one
nigga is
said,
100. That nigga 150 pounds, bro.
Yo, he will put
Fucking
10 of them
hard.
right here at the same spot.
Go ahead. And I'm going to slam the shit out you, cuz. Like, I'm going to
They
grab
gonna
this
be
little
right
nigga,
here.
and I'm going to do one of these joints.
Bing.
Listen,
No.
do y'all remember the wrestler Taz from ECW?
Yeah.
I'm
No.
going to grab this nigga and throw this nigga on my fucking
No.
head and see where the fuck you laying at.
I can't recall any wrestlers because I started having
Hey,
sex
dog,
at a very young age.
I gotta say this, bro.
So hold on.
I can't lie to you.
Hold on. This nigga, so you know what? I'm not even going to incriminate myself by. I got a happy home. You see the picture in the back. I'm not even going to.
Hey, let me see the picture again.
I'll let you have that one, cousin. So solid.
You feel for right now, so you can let everybody know that you're your girl on the wall. Is that what you're doing?
That shit 3 episodes in.
No, I know. I just want to bring it up now because I want to see how you was rocking.
Hey, bro, any nigga that trains 4 or 5 months, runs, eats a certain way, don't be fucking and shit just to fight one night, I don't want no parts of that.
First of all, you think Floyd? Hold on. Do you really think? Mike Tyson said Mike Tyson won a world heavyweight championship. Burn.
Mike Tyson's the night niggas out to take their stuff. So anything he says is gonna be wild.
Hold on. How did we get here? Where were we at? You talking about Malik Yoba? Like, how the fuck did we get to Floyd Mayweather bum?
Because you said you could beat up Floyd. You said
I've been saying that shit, and I mean that shit. Like, Floyd can whip my ass.
No, you said you beat up Karl Malone. We were talking about basically how
right.
Karl Malone.
You're not beating up Karl Malone. You're not beating up Karl Malone.
Listen, cousin, if you don't got the confidence, that's cool. I believe in these hands.
Have you ever fought somebody from the South?
That nigga say 6'8" from Louisiana.
And they some wrestling that. Listen, I seen a nigga in Job Corps fight a nigga from the South, and he wrestled this nigga, had this nigga like this. Ask E Nuts. They had E Nuts like this. Maybe had E Nuts. It was a little nigga too. Had E Nuts like this on some box me. Get the fuck out of here. Matter of fact, your cousin ain't from the fucking South, but this nigga's a wrestling ass. This nigga right here, old Kurt Angle ass. Hold on. Hacksaw Jim. Hacksaw Jim Duggan ass nigga.
Pounds. I got
the wrestler. Truth be told, the wrestler in the family is the doctor.
Hold on.
Oh,
this nigga right here is the
God.
most wrestler. Hacksaw Jim Duggan ass.
Yeah, the wrestler in the family is the doctor.
Bro, old Brutus the Barber beefcake looking at motherfucking Road Warriors talking animal looking ass. Get the fuck out of here. This nigga's the rest of the shit out me like, hey bro, rumble me though. Hey bro, get off me and rumble me.
Mommy,
I didn't never say that.
I got witnesses.
That's what we not gonna do.
Don't let me call.
That's what we not gonna do.
Who
you gonna call?
Make some phone calls.
Yo, we talking about Malik Yoba right now. Like, let's get back to Malik.
I know you. Yeah, exactly. We talking.
Nigga, who the fuck you gonna call? Was nobody around when you thought you had me?
Oh.
Cause that shit, I ain't never gonna admit that shit. When I let you win.
Nope.
I let him win. Cause he big bro. I need his confidence up.
Okay.
He big bro. I need his confidence up. Who you calling, JC?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
JC ain't answering.
Don't worry about it. You lucky that shit went to voicemail.
Yeah, I ain't lucky shit, nigga. Do it now. You came to Philly, you ain't want no smoke.
Yeah.
My bad. All right, let's get back to the podcast.
I'm back in the gym. I will dump your ass. Don't get it.
Hey,
don't
you ain't dumping nobody.
I will fucking dump.
Nigga, I'm 20 pounds light over here too. Fuck,
and I'm 20 pounds lighter too. Don't get
nigga, you went from 8 pounds. Hold on. You want a juice too, cause this nigga went from, I told Cheetah, I said, T, this nigga was on a podcast on Sunday talking about he 8 pounds lighter. Then it was Thursday, this nigga was 20 pounds lighter. I'm like, this nigga, I lost 20. I'm like, well, hold up. This nigga just said he lost 8.
I'm down 20.
I mean,
You under 2, Ralph?
Hell no.
No, I ain't under 2.
I was like, damn near.
You said, hold on. Jordan, look at this nigga head.
Wow.
He got a hair like a rock waller. This nigga ain't under no motherfucking 2, nigga. This nigga gonna bite the shit. This nigga gonna bite the shit out you. This nigga
fucking.
I got under 2. I was under 200 like a month ago. I'm 217 now.
Nigga, I ain't been under 200 since the 90s, nigga. You the fucking
Hold up, say that out loud. Hold up, say that out loud. How that sound? It sounds about what?
Sounds about right.
Ashley, get the fuck out of here. She was never around for that shit. Ashley, make me call your fucking phone. She was never around for that shit.
Ashley.
So, look at my face. Damn fucking serious.
Sounds about correct.
Hey, Ashley, you wasn't around. Ashley, don't fucking do it.
We recording the podcast. So.
You on the podcast? Because when I want your punk ass on the podcast and the other time, you're in the airport and you ain't got no fucking signal. You wasn't over there for that shit.
Thank you for the clarification.
No, that shit don't certify nothing. Fuck out of here. That shit's a lie. They on the same page with that shit. You told them beforehand. You see my fingers? That's hot. They fucking was on some shit with that shit. Back to the fucking podcast we're doing right now.
Yo.
We'll talk about this shit in a minute.
Where we at?
We gotta talk about something. This nigga Jay-Z comments. Jay-Z said,
Yeah, that nigga chick.
this nigga, now hold on, let's be specific. Now these comments came out, he did them in January. It's crazy how shit happened at a certain time. And the shit, just when you in some shit, some other shit come out. They lie that shit up so fucking crazy. So in January, and don't quote me, but Jay-Z said something to the extent that because we're black men, and we have a few black men on here that were raised in households where their fathers were present. But he said that black men in households where their dads wasn't present, they become defiant, and that's where the problem with the police come in. Am I wrong in that statement? Did
Pretty much.
Did I do that right?
That sums it
Pretty
up.
much what he's saying.
Sums it up.
Pretty much blame.
Give me some fucking feedback. Give me some feedback, fellas.
I stopped listening to Hove 2 weeks ago. I'm sorry. I stopped reading the articles. I stopped paying attention. Like,
Yo, I made that same decision. I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna enjoy this music for the rest of my life, I can't take nothing he's saying. Like, I can't listen. I can't read it. I can't do it.
Boy, you don't get me. Like, that's how I felt. It was ridiculous, actually, and it's sad on some level, you know, just because of who he is on the other end. And I don't know if y'all know, but it came out that some of the money or whatever the proceeds was going to this social justice group. That the lady on basically Twitter and Instagram cutting the dreadlocks off of boys, talking about a new life and all this other. She looked real weird, you know, handling these.
In Chicago?
Cut the check to them, huh?
In Chicago?
Yeah. And so, like, when you say they're gonna donate the social, so I don't, you know, you just it's that's the whole point. What you gonna do with it, right? And so somebody getting paid. It's a reason Meek Mill didn't put that thing on his own page. You can't tell me it ain't. Come on, man.
So why you looking?
Bro, so I got y'all one better. So through research, I've read that the reason he jumped on the back of this prison reform movement narrative, he is one of the main investors in this company who's creating a technology that will allow GPS trackers to be installed internally instead of like the bracelets or the anklets in felons while they on parole.
You said Jay-Z done? He on the same page as them?
He's one of the investors.
I got a hard. I'm not. I need to see something.
Yo,
y'all not gonna do Hove like this. You're not gonna do Hove like this.
I'm telling you, if you want to listen to the music for the rest of his life,
This nigga did 22 twos, bro. Hold on.
Yo,
He did. You must love me. Hold on. I
yo,
gotta.
if you wanna still listen to the music, you gotta don't listen to none of his politics, bro.
Yeah.
Just let him cook. Let him cook, man.
Yeah.
Like real shit. I'm a nigga who really canceled out R. Kelly. Like Half on the Baby. Like some of the shit that I really. I mean, I feel you though, but it was some shit.
I think R. Kelly different because he ain't nobody co-signing nothing he do. I think Jay-Z really has shown us that, you know, who he was, and it's just been it's seemingly tongue-in-cheek up until something like this. To me, this is the first major misstep. I said him going on there and trying to sequester journalists and not have them record and all that other dumbass shit. It's a reason you do that, because you know it ain't on the up and up. If nobody, I said it before, nobody was in the room that anticipated people was going to feel a certain kind of way, then that means you got a room full of yes men, and that's what you've been trying to run from your whole career. And just because you're a billionaire does not give you the license to now be the social authority. People are still getting gunned down in the streets. Period. What you gonna do about it, right? And I'm not looking for you to do nothing, but don't look for me to co-sign your partnership with the NFL. I'm not buying this shit. I'm not.
I said it last show. Until these niggas build some banks, pump some money sow some seeds into the soil, create some real jobs, really come up with solutions to our economic problems, really talk about reparations for Black people, which we do deserve it because we have been held hostage against our will for so many fucking years.
And built this country.
I don't care what these niggas do. I've been in support of Jay-Z. He's my favorite rapper, but I honestly have to say, you know, those comments, silly as fuck. You know, at the end of the day, we know we have a problem in the Black home, but we cannot make this synonymous with deaths and cops.
But the problem in the Black home comes from police, and I mean, a lot of it was a lot of Black men getting taken out of their homes.
This is death. The police were made to enforce laws against Black men. There was no police system before the end of slavery. You understand? We're not talking what came first, the chicken or the egg. Clearly, a caste system of racism and slavery came first. Out of that was birth Reconstruction. Out of that was birth Jim Crow. Now, we talking about our great-grandmother having been born during this time. My grandmother's having been born during these times. We ain't talking about 400 years ago, right? So do not blame the computer for having a virus. You blame the person that made the virus.
Now, I will say this. I do honestly feel like what he was saying was taken much further out of context. I think that he tried to have a point, but you have to have some idea of when to speak on certain things and how to present them. He just doesn't understand that. Even if he was trying to say something remote.
But he not, hold on.
Who would have known better? Which rapper would have known better, David Banner or Jay-Z?
David Banner.
I would have had articulated why isn't David Banner the voice of social justice as a former rapper and all that? There's a reason for it.
Because he's too much.
But this is a twist. First of all, let's keep it a bean. When Jay-Z grew them fucking dreads, nigga, shit just started going crazy. Let's keep it a bean. That shit gotta be addressed. Because when he had waves in the shortcut, he was chilling. Now all the bullshit. I don't know who told him to grow that shit at 50, but he tripping. The other thing is that I want to go into a little bit is because how many men were raised with fathers in their home? I wasn't, but Rel, you had a father in your home. Juice, you had a father. Cool. I'm not sure about Jordan.
No.
Right. So no, we on the same page. I would laugh like how would you laugh? That's not even.
No, he my cousin. So
I'm very aware.
Like my
I'm
brother.
very aware.
No, he's more like my brother than anything. Right?
I'm very aware who he is to you. We're very aware of that.
All right, cool. All right.
He my cousin too, nigga.
Right, all right.
But no.
Right, but
I love him to death. I love my daddy to death.
Yeah, I don't call him daddy though. I call him pop, but I love that nigga too. But I gotta add. No, this is
you want me to tell everybody how you ran to your father when he came out of the house? No, I'll say that for a later time.
Who father? Oh, I was gonna fuck him up. No, we gonna tell that story. No, listen, we're not gonna do that right now. We go.
No, I was gonna fuck him up. You ran to him and jumped in his arms. Don't get it twisted.
I did. First of all, at 23 years old, I ain't jumping at nobody.
I can call to heaven right now. I swear to God,
you know
I can call to heaven
right now. You gonna call Ashley again?
No, I said I wish I could call to heaven is what I said. Heaven.
Nigga, why hold on, first of all, at 22 years old, 21 years old, 225 at least, the fuck I like jumping into a motherfucker's arm. Like, I ain't jump. I love that nigga.
Swear, I wish I could call mommy right now. Lord. I
didn't jump into nobody's fucking arms. Nigga,
okay.
Listen, see, that's the shit that's gonna have you moving to the East Coast and me coming to see you about that shit. Like, don't say no shit like that.
Right.
I ain't jumping to a motherfucker arms ever. Motherfuckers jump in my arms. Like, I don't jump into arms.
That's not how that happened, yo.
Hey, bro. You can go to a counselor to address that.
I did jump in nobody fucking. Hey, Jordan, shut the fuck out. Hey, Jordan, listen, I ain't jumping nobody.
Cause that shit can't.
Hey,
that was
hold
internal.
on.
That was from
Jordan.
That was internal.
Where Jordan work at? Cause I'm about to call a supervisor. This nigga ain't working. Hey, Steve, do you know Jordan Boyd is on a podcast track? Hey, Steve, you might need to do something about this. No, all right, hold on. But I say all that to say, cause I want to stick to something. Because we have a good group of men who didn't. Me and Jordan didn't have our dads around as kids, and Rel, Juice, and Cool did. What at a young age? When did you become aware of the police and what to not being? Because when we was kids, it was cops and robbers and cops being good things. You know what I'm saying? As men, because obviously what Jay-Z said is incorrect, right? We all agree on that.
So
when did we become aware of cops not always being the good guys?
So as I can recall, and like I had this conversation recently with someone about how when we were younger, there was a relationship with the police officers that was established through school with like officer friendly and all that. So they would make their presence known on like a civil, peaceful place, and you saw it as a respect. It didn't become. The context didn't change, I guess, until I guess we got old enough to be considered a threat. Then, like we were being Terrell neighborhood, you get stopped.
Changing too, yo. You know what I'm saying? That's my issue. You know what I'm saying?
Say it one more time, bro. Say what you said at first.
Me?
Yeah.
I said that the problem is that needle kept moving to the left, right? When us becoming a threat became, you know what I'm saying, younger and younger.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jordan. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying like we would be in like Terrell neighborhood, we get pulled over. Or I'd be in my neighborhood, you walking, you get pulled over. You 13, 14, 15. You know what I'm saying? And you like, wait, we just out being kids during the summer, ain't no school, or the weekend, coming from the skating rink, whatever. And that callousness between us and them, it builds from there. Then you tell your kids, like, hey, they go to police, look out. You know what I mean? Or, be mindful of that. That's not a normal conversation for anyone else but us. For children, like it's when I was coaching, like I'm never forgetting when I first started coaching football, and the kids was like, I think started off at 6. They were like real cognizant of the police in their act. Like, oh, they go 12, and either tuck off or act like they hiding or whatever. That's at 6.
Yeah, I gotta know, what do 12 mean? Like, where do we get 12 from?
That's
911 equals 11. Like, I'm just
one time. It started as one time.
I heard one time before.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Who next?
You next, nigga. You next.
So I remember my father having the when I was driving, having the conversation when you encounter the police, hands at 10 and 2, car off, put it in park, turn the music down, roll the window down, and have your hands on the steering wheel. Always know where your stuff is at. That's like a normal. It was like a normal, like put your seatbelt on, adjust the mirror, So when you grow up and realize, wait a minute, not everybody is having that conversation. That's one thing. All right, so we all also have police interaction and encounter stories. We've never said that. I've never said that before, but I just know that to be true as Black men growing up in America. So for me, certain situations where I remember driving up the street, clearly stopped at the stop sign. I see the police off to the left and past a couple more stop signs. I'm driving the Q45 Terrell, but I had Howard University plates on my car, right? He basically, black officer basically pulls me over, gets me out the car, tell me shake my stuff out. I'm going to church. I'm on my way to church, bro. You understand? You like living in this neighborhood? Ask me all kinds of crazy questions. Another time, lady on Cherry Hill Road just pulled me over. Said I was speeding, but she come to the jump with a gun on the car. I mean, come to the car with her gun on her hand. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, just in general terms, I won't even speak nobody else's stories, people that I know in situations like that. But the fact is, when you talk about, I am going to point one up with homeboy, say he in his work uniform, right, got his name on the front of it. He get pulled over school time in the morning. Basically, by the time he said he there, his pants down with his penis out getting frisked while the kids walking to school in the morning. He got his work. He like, we got to call somebody with selling drugs. He said, I got my work uniform on with my name on the front of it. You understand what I'm saying? So when you realize that Baltimore gets in trouble recently for the gun trace task force, where these corrupt Baltimore officers was doing all of that, selling drugs out the looted CVS. You understand what I'm saying? Planting drugs on camera. You feel me? All the stuff that them kids over Holy Dirt in East Baltimore was talking about. Now you got local rappers saying the names of these dudes. He go to jail. The dude later get convicted, is in his trial. He was talking truth the whole time, just rapping about growing up in East Baltimore. So it ain't no the Department of Justice give a report after the Freddie Gray riots and talk about the misconduct in Baltimore City. That basically stories of traffic stops and genitals being out, frisked in front of people was a common thing. You understand? Or planting drugs was a common thing, right? So it's really a shame. Like, you can't have it both ways. The FBI releases a report that there are white supremacists in a lot of police departments across the United States of America. That's true. I'm not talking just to be talking. It's true. So man, like in general terms, it's a reason why they might look at a 13-year-old as a threat, and it might be deeper than just being the police.
Yeah. So I was 5'6", maybe 125 pounds. Driving
You
around.
said 5 or 6?
No, I was 5'6", 120.
Oh, I'm about to say, God damn, you was better than a young boy.
No.
He was like, I was 5 or 6, 120 pounds. Like, God damn, Mom, what you was doing? He must have some of that taco salad.
Taco dip, yeah, taco dip.
Yeah,
It's world famous. Trust me.
I know.
Driving around Baltimore City in a gold Acura Legend, right? Very problematic for me, right? So people was just pulling me over, right? It was a point that I used to just have the registration and my license in the door. I was getting pulled over so much, right? I mean, literally not doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Just being black. So I just was too small, and you know what I'm saying? I shouldn't have been driving that. You know what I'm saying? But for me, even at 16 years old, my adolescent mind was, yo, my father worked a lot. You know what I'm saying? And so did my mother. And, I was there when they pulled up in the car. And after, literally people know that my mother ain't have a car for almost 2 years. Because we got in a very bad car accident with somebody, you know what I'm saying, that almost killed both of us, right? So we was on the bus until my pop bought her that Legend. And then I grew up and, I mean, I was driving. So it was either that or the 4Runner. But that was my introduction of me now being aware of what my skin meant, right? Because I feel for my children, especially when they, like the Tamir Rice thing, like, bruh, he didn't know what was coming. You didn't fucking ask him no questions. You ain't have time. You hopped out the car, took your seatbelt or hopped out the car, pulled your gun out and dumped it into a 12-year-old in a park. You know what I'm saying? Like a 12-year-old in the park. You still went and got another job after that. Before you shouldn't have had the job you had. Like, I don't have a gun, and y'all do. Who is scared of who? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
are you kidding me? Like running away, and I mean, it's just way too many stories, man, and you just don't see it, right? You know what I'm saying? The white boy running around naked, you know what I'm saying, running at the police, and they doing like this with the mace. You know, he just killed 2 people. You got my man down in South Carolina who got pulled over for suspended license and ran away from the cops and got shot in the back 5 times.
And he lied on the report, and the only reason we know is because somebody else was just
Recording.
recording.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank God for smartphone, Joe.
Game ain't it? Game ain't it?
This shit crazy, man. Like, as a black man, like, it's scary, man. It's
I
scary,
mean,
definitely. Like,
I would say for me, for those that don't know, you know, I'm from Houston, Texas,
Houston.
in the South. You know, I've always known where I'm from. I always knew that it was something a little different about me versus other people, meaning that, okay, I'm black. This is where black people live. This is where white people live. This is kind of the history of where it is, you know, of what's going on where I'm from. I think for most people in the South, we understand segregation. We understand, you know, the disparities that black people have. We understand that we're a subjugated group of people and have been for a long time. So for me, the knowledge of the police officer has been there. I don't know of a time where I've never known for police officers to get out of pocket with, you know, someone of color, because, you know, obviously that's what happens a lot in most of our neighborhoods. My first real interaction with police, teenager, you know, I remember one time me and my homie was outside. We 14, dog. We 14, 15 years old. And police pull up and, you know, dude say, y'all either out here selling drugs or selling ass. Me, it just fucking, you know, 14, just really kids, bro. So I mean, that was insane. You know, it's always been the knowledge that police could take you off 1 minute and you might not even come back. But my dad, like you, cool, you know, I had a father there from jump to tell me, this is what you do when you interact with this person. This is how you operate. This is how you speak, you know, and we stopped doing that shit. Now, that's where the single black mother thing comes in for millennials and probably moving on, is that because there aren't black fathers, there aren't men taking over the households the way they used to. Well, there are now. There's a lot now. Let's stop that. There's a lot of men. I'm just saying there was a point that it was really still heavily going on, but now I can say I had my baby in the studio the other day, and then another engineer did too. So men are stepping up, but there was a point where we were still fighting that battle with black fathers not being there and not being able to tell these young boys how to be men and how to operate as a black man in this country. So it made a difference for me. I think a lot of these cats, you know, you get in front of the cop, you're throwing up the phone, you really thinking that you know, you can always win this battle. I came up in the world understanding that it wasn't none of that shit, nigga. When that nigga pull up and he get the tool out or whatever, everybody better stop. It don't fucking matter what you think. It don't matter about your fucking rights and this, that, and the third. You could talk that shit when the lawyers show up. But for right now, nigga, when that nigga pull up, everybody better stop. Because if you put on a show, nigga, it's a rap. It's a rap. Ain't no telling. Ain't no, you know, they just got some dirty cops, you know, that were doing some dirt, you know, on the honorable, you know, Jay Prince. There are 2 cops that went down, but that was rare. That man fought a very tough, hard battle, you know, to really get some relief from that situation. And eventually, you know, these guys were convicted. But just imagine how many police officers are doing that and have always done that, especially in places like the South. Mm-hmm. So, you know, me personally, man, it's like I don't know. Like, I live in a world where I'm not shocked about racism with white folk, because you know, when I was in the first grade, a white lady with red hair called me a nigga. She was like, you know, she was pointing out different people in the class. You're brown, you know, based on my Mexican, you're white, you're Asian, you're a nigga. And we even at that age, she was like, yo, she can't even say that. She can't say that. We told our teacher, who was black, she was just like a resource teacher that would come in and like do little shit with us, you know, have a good time. Yeah, something like that, bro. That's really what she did. Like, she just came in and do that shit. So we told our teacher, Miss Smith, man, that she was a sister girl. So she went live. She was like, what? Oh, man, she, you know, probably one of them third ward South Park chicks. But she went live, you know. But I don't know. I'm just, this is the country we live in. This is the place we live in, you know. And with a guy like Jay-Z, we also have to realize that that's the reality of many successful black men, that you're often looking into the eyes of a man who says nigga 30 times before he hits his front door, but he's got to give you the opportunity. He's going to give you the money. So it's a lot of politics in this bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
I just think like with that statement though, you downplaying or you're man. I hate to say it, I hate to feel that way, but it's like, why would you say something like that? Because it's not true. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Who's the professional in the interaction if you get pulled over by the police? And so why are we putting the onus even on black single mothers or even now dads? We do it because we want our kids to come home and be alive. Me and Michael done got stopped twice by the police that resulted neither in any tickets. I ain't even gonna say it was some bullshit, but if I ain't got no ticket in both things, it was what it was. And I had to go over the 10 and 12. I mean, you know what I mean? The 10 and 2, you know what I mean? I put it in park. You see what I did, Michael? He's 10. He's 10. And none of them happened this year. So give you an idea of when these things, you know, just happen. Who's the professional in the interaction? The police are. You would think they go through these kind of trainings where we don't have to de-escalate them and make them feel comfortable. That has to be inherent bias in these situations, the same way it is in medicine, the same way it is in business, the same way it is in banking, the same way it is in music, the same way, you understand what I'm saying? Like, so it's just sad that, like, if my whole thing was, Hov, don't cape for these people. You could have raised 400,000. You could have gave that people 100,000 to somebody that don't cut off dreadlocks. I'm just saying, and like, don't cape for these people if that hasn't changed. And we know there was no partnership where that was going to change. I don't know.
Why don't we have the, you know, it feel like we do not have affinity for our own people the way we do at trying to get a seat at the table. You know, we don't love each other to, you know, take your money. Oprah, Jay-Z, all these rich and famous people could really take their monies, put it together and build infrastructure. And what you see in a lot of black neighborhoods are urban communities that are being gentrified. Well, not being gentrified, the ones before pre-gentrification. There's no infrastructure. There's food deserts. I mean, there's 4 to 6 chicken spots on one corner. We're talking health. I mean, we are really being, you know, abused. This is really a crime against humanity. This is a human rights issue. And, you know, this whole thing is a human rights issue and nobody is treating it as such. But we're treating, no offense to the LGBT community, we're treating that issue as a bigger issue than what has been perpetrated against Black Americans.
Because there's more, because there's more unity.
Well, the LGBT community makes money. They make money. They bring money. And that's what it's about. They come with their pocketbooks. They make it shake. Black people, we broke. We don't have money. We're about to be phased out in about 20 years. Niggas is finna be out of there. Unless we change, unless we get into what we really can do for ourselves and really come up with something. I mean, you're just really, I mean, you hear it. I heard this on Bill Maher last night. I mean, they've already really moved to the Latino vote. That's what they feel like they have to capture. The Latino vote, that's what's really gonna, you know, give them some push. But what fucks them up about that shit is Latinos are just like Blacks. They're not a homogenous group of people. Guess what? They're either kind of Black, they're either kind of white, or they're just simply Latino. But at the end of the day, they're not really hard up for fighting against people on the other side of that wall. They don't give a fuck about that because they over here getting what they gotta get done. So like you know, this shit, you go ahead.
No, the whole Jay-Z shit with me is like almost like when they say like kids without fathers grow up to be fathers that don't take care of their kids. That's how I feel with that statement. You get what I'm saying? Like, no, we're not going to sit back here and justify and say that every kid that didn't have a father in their household is away with it. Like, to me, it was almost like an excuse for the cops' action.
Police, yeah.
You get what
he
I'm saying?
definitely
like,
didn't put any push on the cops. Now that sucks, and so
right.
We shouldn't be blaming. We just talked about the reason, but single Black mothers should not get the blame. It should definitely be police officers because they are the professionals.
Right. At the end of the day, every kid isn't that way, isn't aggressive towards the cops because of their at-home situation. You know what I'm saying? So for that to be, man, I don't want it. Like, it's hard to think that way. And that's not what you want to think coming from that person. But it's like, damn, dog, How could you say that shit? Like, to me, that shit wasn't for us. That shit was against us.
Mm-hmm.
That statement. That's how that statement felt. It felt like something that was against young black men without fathers, and almost saying that what comes as far as their actions when we are disobedient or we're not, protocol makes it acceptable. And that's crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
To come from Jay, like, come on, man, like, not you.
But do we really think that you can get to $1 billion without crossing, spaces or energies of people that just do not like your people? I mean, you're only in the room because you make money. That's why you're there. You're not there because of legacy. You're not there because of any kind of family affiliation. You're only there because you were able to hustle up to this point.
Not under the current system, but I don't. So no is the short answer. But that's why I said for me, this one feels different. It feels like some sleight of hand. You understand what I'm saying? We beyond kneeling. What are you talking? If they still getting killed, I'm not saying keep kneeling, and I'm not saying just employ Cap and everything's gonna magically be delicious. I'm saying we like on the Nipsey tip, we are continuing to push the conversation and dialogue. We should be continuing to push for more and talk about these things that we're not going to just not talk about reparations or not talk about the fact that we still getting killed on camera and they getting off or with impunity. We're not doing that no more. We're not going back to sleep. We're not going back to the Super Bowl. We're not making them more money just so you can say you give it to whomever and somebody else getting paid. You can't. We're not doing that no more. That's the point. You're not finna pacify us no more.
But know what? It go back to something you said, cool. Like, maybe you've been so far removed from this life that you don't understand it no more.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, and that gotta be something that we gotta have a conversation about, and maybe discuss. Maybe something that we gotta consider. Dog, you've been rich for a long time, and maybe you don't remember what it was like out Marcy. Maybe you don't visit Marcy enough, and you don't remember those times. Maybe you got a little, you and Beyonce and Blue Ivy and these kids with these names like a Kardashian. You forgot what that street life is like.
Especially on the high horse side of the game. Don't be high horse.
Maybe you need your reminder or your memory doesn't serve you as sharp or ain't as sharp as it used to be. You get what I'm saying? And you think and you're justifying this shit that, dog, no matter what, we deserve a fair situation as much as a white kid out Beverly Hills or out Calabasas or out anywhere.
Or your kids.
Deserve. Right. Exactly. You get what I'm saying? We deserve that same opportunity as they do. No matter where we from, no matter what block it is, we deserve that chance that you give those kids that are in a, where you're more cautious and you're more, laid back with the situation. We deserve that same chance. Not saying that it's easy being a cop, because at the end of the day, I wouldn't want to be a police officer in any state anywhere.
How easy it is to be a cop. They carry guns as part of what they do. Everybody knows it's difficult. I don't mean to be callous, but we still get gunned down. We still get done wrong. We still get drugs planted on us.
No doubt.
See, I wouldn't be tripping if I ain't see shit like the dude that they thought was a suspect in the killing chase a motherfucker with an arm. First off, if I got the hammer on me, bro, if you want the party, we can do it. So the fact that you're running from this guy who looks like you could have easily took him out the way you took out Tamir Rice. You know what I'm saying? You let this guy run around you. I mean, we're seeing this too often. We're seeing this all the time. I do believe there's some media manipulation in there, but at the same time, we know that it's happening. So how do you feel in that case, or in the Dylan case, versus when you see any one of these black people that you killed that had no weapon at all? That was just asking, why were you there?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, nigga, I don't even want you to talk to me. I want you, you're going to do what I say all the time. And so that's the issue. And so, yeah, I'm with, I think it's unanimous in how we feel with the Jay-Z comments, because we're never addressing the opposition. We're never addressing the real issue of why are white cops heavily policing our neighborhoods and doing negative shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, let me ask y'all something. I'm gonna take it a little left field real quick one time. Do y'all remember when you had to have Kelly Price on the hook to have a successful album in the hip hop game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you had to have Kelly on there singing her ass off in the depths of her soul.
They ain't
It
even
was
like
another
that
chick too,
anymore.
Latoya Williams, if y'all remember her.
I remember her
That
too.
was a little after that. Was that the one who was with Kanye? Or Kanye?
Yeah, she did like Kanye, Jay. She did Snoop. She did a lot of shit. She did a lot
Right,
of shit.
but before in the early 90s, like 98, 99,
Yeah, that was
you had
Kelly.
to have Kelly on there. You had to have Kelly on there.
They wouldn't even put Kelly in the video because she was so big.
Right, that's
So that was Puff.
Oh,
that would never fly today. You got Lizzo.
problematic.
No doubt. Now let's talk about. Hold on, real quick. Let's talk about this 50 Cent comment. And we got to dig in. 50 Cent said that Chris Brown one day might be better than Michael Jackson.
So,
is it bullshit?
Why would that be bullshit?
I'm asking you.
It's bullshit.
I don't think he can reach the global success.
Exactly.
But it's different times. It's different times too.
I mean, that's the only thing you can compare it to. Talent wise, I think Chris Brown is immensely talented. He can sing his ass off and he can goddamn dance. So what else is there other than the global impact?
Yeah.
That's the X factor in the whole can he be bigger, you know what I'm saying, thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, with like, how do you get bigger than Thriller? You know what I'm saying? Or
and that's really comes down to like nobody look. I am a Chris Brown fan. I am a champion of his. I get it. The conversations are shifting. You know, next up really on that slate would be Beyonce, just from a global standpoint, success of shows, deals she cut. So you really we can't move on to the next thing without talking about women. And this is what, a lot of women use as arguments like, oh, you're skipping over us and going to there, which in this case, I would kind of agree with that. But Michael Jackson, we need to stop sleeping and shitting on Mike like Mike wasn't Mike. I mean, Thriller is not going to get caught, period. I mean, the Eagles caught him, but that was like a greatest hits compilation. It wasn't like just an album that they put out. So Michael was the man. I mean, we just need to let it go. Just like Jordan was the man, we need to let I don't think he's going to get caught. So, I mean, over time, Chris Brown, probably will accumulate. He's a legend, but he's not Michael Jackson.
Let's address the fact that Chris Brown stayed true to himself, though. Where we got Michael Jackson, who, as a black young boy, tried to become what they wanted him to become. I don't know what made him be on the type of time where he walking around Peach as a dark-skinned, big-nosed black child. You get what I'm saying? Chris Brown, we have to. I feel like we have to give him a little bit of I'm myself.
I mean, but is he though? Because he's from Virginia, but he's also a gang member now.
So not just from Virginia though. He not just from Virginia. You got to be very specific, right? Because they do got a little bit of gang activity in certain cities in VA.
He's
right?
from Tappahannock. Okay, I'm sorry.
Ain't no gangs there.
I'm sorry. Hey, yo, all my 757 people, I didn't mean it like that. What I'm saying
that ain't even 757, is it?
What? No.
No. I'm saying 75. No. Because I had to clarify. Like Virginia, no. It's some triple OG gangsters out there. We know it get down. But what I'm saying, yeah, Tappahannock, Virginia. That's where he's from. How are you a blood on the West Coast? So we, again, I love.
We addressed that. But in the same token, it's like even through all that, Chris is who he is. Chris, he has no problem standing in that space and saying, fuck it. It is what comes with it. If we talking about on stage talent, nothing else. On stage talent.
I think he's very great, but I don't think he's Michael Jackson.
Is he Kobe to Mike?
I think he's Kobe to Mike.
Can he ever catch Mike? What could he do? What could he do?
It's different times though. Like
what could he do?
Hold on.
What could he do?
Huh? No, but listen. He can't.
Okay.
But that's not, but see, that's not, Mike didn't write Thriller.
Right?
I'm not talking about writing. I don't care about R&B. Right. It's talking about, creativity. We're talking about Michael Jackson singing a song. I don't give a fuck if a gerbil wrote, Thriller. Michael sung it.
Gerbil can't write Thriller.
I'm just saying.
If you put Chris Brown in that space, in that time, that's like almost saying, and I seen some. Matter of fact, man, shout out to my man. I can't think his name right now. Damn, I can't think his name. But he made a comparison to Kobe and Mike,
Donnie
saying that.
Hathaway.
Hold on, bro. What you just come out of nowhere talking about Donnie Hathaway? Like, hold on.
Jordan, yeah, he
Hold
got
on.
off of mute.
Listen, right. But what I'm saying is, when Mike was Mike, look at his competition. Mike was playing against Hornacek. What's my man name from Cleveland? The boy
Craig
Elo. Right, and then Kobe played in a different era, whereas there was more black shooting guards. Or even if you compare, I heard somebody tell me, and I swear to God, this is the case you ever heard. Oh, Shaq can't fuck with Wilt Chamberlain. If you put Shaq, Shaquille O'Neal in 1992, in the year when Wilt Chamberlain scored 100 points, Shaq would score 250 points. So, end of the day, it's like things are different. Whereas though the lineup with Mike had and the situation Mike was in, will Mike be Mike in this day and time? We don't know.
You talking about Michael Jordan?
No, he's talking
Michael
Michael
Jackson.
Jackson.
Michael Jackson?
Evolution is a motherfucker, right? You know what I'm saying? Good, bad,
There's no telling. Quincy Jones plays a part in that. You get what I'm saying?
But check this out. It was Michael Jackson who made the decision on the set of The Wiz to actually go with Quincy. He thought that it would be a good decision to get him to do his music that he had done. People got to understand what was going on at the time. Also, when you go to Off the Wall, Michael Jackson is a 17-year-old kid in Studio 54 looking at this shit. He goes and makes Off the Wall at 19. I'm sorry. The game is over at this point. There's nobody that has done that yet. Chris Brown is just, he got shit he kicking out, but Off the Wall and Thriller is done very. How old is Chris Brown now?
Right, but if Chris Brown was born,
he like 26, 27.
But bro,
he ain't 30 yet.
He older than that. He probably 30. But if you put Chris Brown with the talent and somebody like Quincy seeing that, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know. It's
you know why you don't get the same? Because Motown. Michael Jackson went to Motown. He went to the greatest record label that was ever created on earth. He was around the greatest songwriters. He was 12 years old walking in on Stevie Wonder. Like, we gotta understand who Michael Jackson really is. He's not just the guy.
I'm not denying that. But if you put skill set, the ability to dance, and the voice, and you put Chris Brown in that same situation, who's to say Chris won't get his shit off the same way Mike got his shit off? Chris right now putting out 35. Hold on. Chris putting out 35 tracks. He done put out 2 joints with like 30 joints on it, and I swear, like, that shit ain't corny, bro.
6 of them good. 6 out of 35 good.
We not. Hold on. Whoa, Jordan.
It's a little better than that, Jordan. But I see what you're
okay.
right.
I would say 8. I would say like 12.
Dog, are you serious?
Yeah, I love Chris Brown though. That's my man.
I can't tell.
It's not better than Off the Wall.
Because you being real disrespectful. Dog, it's different time, different place. Did Mike write Off the Wall?
No, he didn't have to.
All right then. So you sit back here telling me.
No, he actually, hold up. He demoed a lot of that, bro. Quincy said a lot of those ideas were brought to him already. Yes, he did.
By Mike?
He didn't. He demoed. Rod Temperton was the penmanship. You know,
he definitely demoed.
Last time I checked, Michael Jackson's name wasn't Rod Temperton. So a motherfucker wrote it. If a motherfucker wrote that for Chris, because Chris got the voice, Chris got the moves. So who's to say Chris in that same position wouldn't be equally or even more successful? Mike had no competition but Prince. That's it. Things is a whole lot different.
To your defense, Lee, we had this debate before. Chris Brown's This Christmas is better than Donny Hathaway's.
Yo, ain't nobody talking about no damn Donny Hathaway.
No. You said that came up in our.
I'm saying to your defense.
Man, who said that shit?
Juice. I did.
I did too.
Oh,
me and Terrell. It ain't?
Hell no.
What?
Chris Brown. Hold on. Chris Brown fan, but that's Donny Hathaway.
That's your age.
Hold on. Right now, Mike with that. Hold on. Right now, Mike with that weird shit. Will Mike be? Ain't nobody accepting Mike with that weird shit right now. Like that weird shit might go on half white and
you moving.
Actually, they're more accepting of that weird shit now.
You're talking about talent versus all the other extra shit that's going on, right?
Right. I think Chris talent-wise, we just talking talent. That much off of Mike?
I
Chris
know.
can't touch
I
Mike.
don't think so. I said
Them
that.
moves, listen, them moves Chris do right now, that's what I'm saying. It's like hoops. Because it's like a nigga like Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt Chamberlain couldn't get that shit off in 2000. Wilt Chamberlain in 2000 wasn't scoring 100 points, bro. When Shaq was putting up what Shaq was putting up.
I agree.
Right. So, end of the day, it's like that shit. Mike has
Shaq can't get that shit
doing.
up on Hakeem. We need to. Yeah, why we ain't talking about Hakeem, bro? When you start saying that shit, you better respect the dream, bro.
He go.
Hey, hold on. Y'all talk that Homer shit about me.
Here he go.
Everything. Hold on, because I got a lot of criticism. Everything told Homer with this nigga, but I gotta hear about Andy Reid who left Philly 10 years ago. Like, get the fuck out of here.
You could have named 10 coaches before you said Andy Reid name, but you didn't.
No, Andy Reid offense is really that dope.
You didn't name Andy. You could have said Mike Tomlin before you said Andy Reid.
Mike Tomlin ain't that good. Mike Tomlin lead niggas. Mike Tomlin ain't no.
Okay, which one of them got a Super Bowl championship?
You right, but Mike Tomlin ain't no.
I didn't hear what you said. I didn't hear what you said.
Mike Tomlin.
No, which one of them have a Super Bowl championship? I didn't hear you. I didn't hear you.
Mike Tomlin.
Oh, okay.
Mike Tomlin is the leader of men. He's not an offensive fucking extraordinaire.
Hold on, what? You might have lost that argument.
Wow.
I said Mike Tomlin
is a leader of men.
Yes, Mike Tomlin is not known for his offensive in a huddle. This is the last play. This is what we going with. He can pull that play out. That's not what Mike Tomlin's strengths are. Mike Tomlin's strength is being young and being able to relate to young players and lead men. Mike Tomlin ain't no offensive mastermind or no defensive. Mike Tomlin was the defensive coach before he got hired. He wasn't the offensive coordinator, wasn't the defensive coordinator. Mike Tomlin was a defensive secondary coach.
So?
Right, he's the leader of men. John Harbaugh was a special teams coach before he got hired. He's a leader of men, not an offensive extraordinaire. So I say all that to say, end of the day, if you put Chris in them same circumstances, who knows what Chris would have did? If Chris had Quincy, or Chris had whoever y'all said the ball was off the wall, who's to say? But right now, Chris killing it in these days and times.
But you're talking about Michael Jackson, who was doing all this shit before the digital age. I mean, what they did as far as cutting records, harmonically, what he did with his voice, his stats.
You're saying that what Mike did was harder than what Chris has to do with now?
Hell yeah, I'm saying that shit because it's true.
But there's no competition there. First of all, our attention. Let me ask you something. Album-wise, do you listen to albums more now than you listen to them 10 years ago?
No,
right.
Nobody does.
So, okay, so do you think listen to an album now and listen to an album 30 fucking years ago? What did you do? 30 years ago, you listen to an album more now or 30 years ago?
30 years ago.
Right. How often or how easy is it for you to just download something and for an artist not to get that number or that credit or that record sale now compared to when Mike came out?
Chris Brown has done nothing close to fucking off the wall yet. I'm sorry. You can't name me a fucking project that this nigga has done that would make you say that's his Thriller.
Music has changed. If Thriller, hold on. So you saying right now, today, what's today's date? September 8th?
Yes.
What's the date? September 8th. Thriller comes out. Nobody's never heard it. Thriller would do the same numbers it did when it came out before.
I'm saying that it would probably
answer my question.
It would do even better.
I'm done. All right,
you know why I would do even better? You know why I would do even better?
Ain't nobody trying that shit. Ain't nobody trying that shit. Hey, cool, you try to that shit like, listen, with Thriller, hold on. When we was kids, Thriller, listen, if I put Thriller on for my daughter right now, Bree gonna laugh at that shit.
You know my kids love that shit.
Yeah, I'm about to say my kids
but they
love
not,
Thriller.
They not scared. You said Jordan was scared of Thriller, right, Mike?
Yo, chill. Who said that?
Sure.
That is a known family fact.
Oh shit, you was scared of Thriller?
Oh, yeah, he was.
Yo, why y'all tell that man secret?
No, Cool told it last week. I just had to emphasize with this shit.
Oh shit!
Is this nigga working? I'm about to call Steve anyway.
Oh,
Hey, Steve. When last
oh
time you
shit!
checked in on Jordan?
Holy smoly!
But he used to stay up and watch it though, like so it was kind of weird.
And bring on the scary shit. All right, we've been on for a minute. I got a couple things. You know how that go. I got a couple things for y'all. R. Kelly and General Pop. How y'all feel about that?
Fuck it.
So
It's his fault.
he's still
R.
alive.
Kelly said he said he got a pop, and he said they love him in General Pop.
Okay.
I bet you they do.
A$AP Rocky Swedish lawyer shot twice in the head and the chest.
What?
Yeah.
You didn't hear that?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get that nigga off in Sweden.
Racism.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Bad Boys for Life trailer. Y'all ready for Bad Boys 3?
I'm with it.
Nah, we'll see.
Well, who said we'll see?
I'll be there first now. I mean, Juice. I'll be there first.
I said that.
You should fucking up this episode. We better let you go back to mixing down. Nigga, fucking. Nigga, my mix down ain't right, nigga. You gotta get this nigga. I need him producing. He fucking is. He should never had them noodles. It's all Jordan's fault. When Jordan incorporated noodles into this episode, shit got fucked up out here. All right, let me ask you another question. Serious question. Going on 40. Cool, you already 40. Look, what the fuck is he doing? Going on 40. Like, yeah, he on mute. That's the bad part. Like, he just doing random shit that they gonna do. How do you deal with the thought of, cool, you already 40. Rel, you be 40 next year. I'll be 40 in 2 years. Jordan be 40 in 2 years. Cool, Juice got about 5 years. How do you feel
I got
about
6
it?
years.
Okay. How do you feel about it? You know, what's your thought process? Because I mean, like a lot of times when you think about it, like, damn, like if you see another 40 years, that's a blessing, right? As Black men especially. So how do you deal with it? Like, does something change? Like, you know, just how you feel about 40?
It's I think it's evolved, man. I think how we as Black people gotta know that stuff's just not happening to us. That we don't just die we ain't supposed to just die at 40 or 50 or 60 or 65. We're supposed to be healthy. We have the DNA of, you know, the survived slaves. You know, in general terms, I say all that to say 40 becomes a mindset. Like, that's not old, yeah. I'm here from me 10 years ago. You might think I was older in the pictures from 10 years ago, and I diet and exercise plays a part. There's certain things. Can you hear me now? I ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, we got you.
Go ahead.
We got you.
I said diet and exercise plays a part. There's certain things that you got to take ownership of, but you can live a healthy, you know, life. I don't even, patients say it all the time, but I don't subscribe to the, oh, I'm getting old. Man, something changed in your environment that caused you to feel that way. And if you don't understand about food or your lack of sleep or whatever it is, if you don't look in the mirror and look at that, then that's on you. That's not an age specific thing. That's usually what happens is you've accumulated the bullshit over a period of time, so you tend to be sluggish and all of that kind of stuff. But y'all know, y'all got older as y'all going through these diets and losing these pounds. But did you feel better? 8 pounds down or 20 pounds down? Yes, you was days and weeks older. You know what I'm saying? So it's really bullshit. If you kept going and got whatever your ideal weight off, guess what? You'd be older but feel better. So when you really think of it, man, I think there's a ball of wisdom. Like, no, my sex life has gotten better. My married sex life has gotten better. And it was mental and nothing to do with my age. You know, maybe it was some diet, but nothing to do with my age. You see what I'm saying? Like, so our communication and all that stuff is much better in general terms. So ain't no one specific thing that happens at that age. As a matter of fact, you get to stir fry all of your experiences and get to a point where you're like, man, I ain't never letting that shit happen again, or I ain't never tolerating that shit again, or I ain't never doing that shit again. You feel me? That's a hell. Oh, and I don't give a fuck what they say. Like, that's a hell of a feeling, right? And when you mix that all together, you really just supposed to start hitting your stride at 40. And if we black, we really supposed to be thinking 100, not no 80 and die. 80 and die is because we ain't know what the fuck we was eating and putting in ourselves. You start juicing and all that stuff, we 100 and better, baby.
Yeah.
And know what?
I was talking to my brother Wayne the other day, man. Shout out to him. So he was like, man, I used to care what people thought about me when I was 39, but now I'm 40. I don't give a fuck. So shout out to my brother Williams, man.
And that's real shit. Like, end of the day, that's all I see when I look around. It's us trying to eat better, do better, be in a better place, man. It's been a long time since I've been at the weight I've been at. You feel what I'm saying? So to, cut down on certain things and to, it's the end of the day, man, for me, it's like living to be around. Like, I don't want to miss my kids having kids and all that. I want to be around. I want to be a part of everything. And that's all I see my homies doing is just, man, like and what's crazy is if we had this frame of mind in our 20s or even in our 30s, in our early 30s where we could be at. But it's just really about just, bettering ourselves, bettering our minds, just all together, just growing. You know what I'm saying? It's really about just every day being better than you was yesterday. If you got that mindset of just being, I'm trying to be a better Neef than I was yesterday and the day before that. You feel what I'm saying? And that's just, how I think about it. Every day, I don't want to be missing. I see my grandpa like 3 years ago at like damn near late 70s run, like he had a cart and we was at the market and he was able to run. And my grandmom at 50 something was already, so my grandpa at 70 something could run at the cart. My grandma at 50 something took her 10 minutes to get up the steps. You feel what I'm saying? We got to change that up and just be better with that and just, it's an embrace. Like, how many do we know that didn't get to see it? You get what I'm saying? And with every situation, whether it's being fathers, being husbands, or just being men in general, we're trying to, as black men, defeat the narrative, the narrative that we're looked at. That every day, I'd have been in Ubers with a man that seen me for 5 minutes and he complimented me on my relationship with my child. 5 minutes in a car. You get what I'm saying? It's about being different. Like, end of the day, instead of, okay, you see a certain way of things, like you see your father be a certain way. Shout out to my pop, not trying to diss anything, because my pop's a great grandfather, but he had to learn too. You get what I'm saying? You see certain things, I don't want to be that. You know what I'm saying? And it's about, evolving every day, just being better, just being, just being sharper.
Yeah. So for me, like, I had a scare, right? So I was home, I came back to Texas and my back was hurting, right? So I literally thought I had a fucking kidney stone. And that shit scared the fuck out of me. And I was like, oh man, if I gotta pass this thing in some way, shape, form, or fashion, or if I gotta get a catheter, which is probably one of my biggest fears, I'm not even gonna be able to roll with it at this point, right? So I stopped liking the way I looked at my clothes. I stopped liking the way I was feeling. And you just be sitting there like, dang, I gotta get a pair of 40 jeans, or dang, I gotta get a pair of 42 jeans, or 44. You know what I'm saying? And then you're like, oh, you doing all right? And then people that love you won't even really tell you the truth, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I just mean that, you know what I'm saying, in the most humble way. But you gotta want to do good for you, right? So I knew that I needed to make changes. I knew that my life had to be different. I knew that, so for me, because, once you get to 40, you start questioning your own mortality. It's just like, how much longer, you know what I'm saying? Because all the horror stories start happening, right? We lost a cousin last year, 43, you know what I'm saying? Gone, cancer. I lost my best friend last year and, he took his life, but you just like, damn, what's up? You know what I'm saying? And you got to want to change for you and nobody else, right? You know what I'm saying? So you got to want to be around for your grandkids. You got to want to be around, you know what I'm saying, for all those moments, right? So as I get older, family has become, and and it's always been important to me, but it's like extremely important now. And you know, that's part of the reason that I'm happy things are happening the way they are.
And if you can't see things going around you and adjust to it, that's your fault. Like you see all these things going on, and we not attempting to make things better. Like I said, me being a child who didn't have his dad around all the time, and Kula always get on me like, "Yo, need you the deepest when you go into that." Like end of the day, that's my motivation. Like end of the day, I don't ever want my child to feel like I felt at that point. You get what I'm saying? So it's like for me, it's like I always want to. You know what I mean? Like, man, I want to be here, dog. I'm trying to be around, man. I ain't going nowhere, man. Like, I'm trying to be better. I'm just trying to be, I'm just, man. I'm not. It's so much shit that happens, man. Like, man, and don't get me wrong. No matter what you do, it's so many people. And, like I said, my lady just lost her aunt, and she was a good woman, married to her high school sweetheart, and cancer comes in, and it's like, damn, you do all the right shit, and things like that still happen. You get what I'm saying? So it'd be like, just being better and just trying to change shit. Like, dog, like when you see a family, like I got a family full of women, and it's like you see my grandma went through shit, my mom went through shit. My mom died before she was 50. You get what I'm saying? I got a little sister now who, damn, the way she living her life, man, ain't no telling if she gonna see 40. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, I can't let mine and what I got going on around me even be on that type of time. We got to change that shit. And I got to be here every day. You get what I'm saying? Making sure we straight. Making sure we dropping them jewels and just being present. You get what I'm saying? Like, man, I know guys that died before they seen 30. You know what I'm saying? Like, dog, every day is a blessing. We got to take advantage of that shit and drop jewels and leave our future generations striving, being better. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That shit right there is the key. Like, I welcome 40, man. I welcome the gray hair, all that. Just always say he can't wait to put some gray in that beard. You know what I'm saying? Like, dog, I'm ready for it. I ain't gotta die this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm ready to rock. You get what I'm saying? Like, come on, like, nigga, I'm trying to see 100 too. Like, fuck that. Like, nigga, I hope I ain't on the down half of this. You know what I'm saying? And the way that shit go, dog, like you can walk out your door, man. Like that shit cancer, dog, you can do all the right shit. You can be eating right. Like that cancer shit, we gotta address that shit, talk about that shit. Like that shit don't got no fucking pics. That shit don't got no fucking color.
But it does. But it can though. I'm not trying to give power to it. We absolutely ignore carcinogens, which are cancer-causing things, in our environment all the time. Like meat, processed meat is on the list of carcinogenic stuff. I eat processed meat on occasion, right? I'm just saying, if we don't know that and understand that, yeah, you might get cancer. Right? We man, and so that's the whole thing. That's just as an example. But so it's like smoking. Like we don't equate processed meat and cigarettes as the same thing. Like it'll kill you. So it do have its picks, and there have been instances where people have eaten their way back into health. That's not to discount what you're saying, Neef, because you're absolutely right that shit can just happen to you even if you live right. You feel me? Like right. So, but there's absolutely things that we can do and that we should be doing, like even just having these conversations right now, right? When it's time to get my prostate checked, I'm gonna come back and tell y'all what a prostate exam feels like, what it is. Why not? Right? If it's preventable, that's what it is. That's what we need to be doing. You see what I'm saying? Like breaking those kind of things. I ain't doing. Who said I ain't doing it? I don't want to die young. You understand what I'm saying? So me and Joey Jordan, we had this thing like ever said. People were like, YOLO, you only live once. I like whoever tell you that, don't believe they ass. They lying to you. You understand what I'm saying? It's a reason you don't go blow your rent money or your mortgage money or something every Friday or every, because you might live to be 100. You might want to plan for that shit too. And far too often we plan on living only for the day when the reality is you could live a nice long time in a really, really nice way and understand a lot of the stuff that we even live for is really bullshit. So, boil it down. No stuff ain't gonna be happy. This is 40-year-old. Like just like even though people would say I've achieved a certain thing, I really just feel like I'm just at 42 understanding some stuff and coming to myself. I know what I don't want and don't want to tolerate. And it ain't been easy to go from, half sleep to more awake in what I like and what makes me happy. I just, I realized not too long ago, I went out, it's called First Wednesdays. They got a nice time, really, really nice time in Baltimore. I realized just the other day that I love chilling in my house, like more than going out. You understand what I'm saying? Like if we talk about fun level, my fun level of doing nothing has exceeded the fun level of going out and being drunk at a certain time of night. You see what I mean? Like I can do a day party, it'd be great, but I'm not really with coming in the house 2 o'clock in the morning, stumbling and bumbling and calling that a good time no more.
No, what's
and that's
crazy?
okay.
Last year, we had went out. Me and my Cannon brothers. We had went out. We was out in Atlantic City for a weekend. And that first night it was cool. Like Friday, it was cool. We was out late. That Saturday night, nigga, I was like, I hope niggas ain't trying to go out tonight. Like that 2 nights in a row shit is a whole nother monster when you a grown ass man.
Yeah.
You out with it, Jordan?
Hey, I got a jet set. Hey. Oh, go ahead, Jordan.
Oh, you about to leave?
I got a
Oh, go ahead.
Yo, y'all
When he
record
leave, the podcast over, nigga.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
No,
I ain't gonna hold that man. I don't hold that man up for business.
I got an early flight and I got to pack.
I'm about to be watching this Longhorns game.
5 a.m. Oh, you got the Jordan over there.
Men of a certain age stuff is happening right now. Podcast. This is what's going on.
Right?
Yeah.
You got a podcast with your infant in your arms.
Yeah.
Hey, I did that last week.
Yeah, you did. Oh, you copying your shit? Real quick. I got a couple questions for y'all real quick.
Go ahead.
The best descriptive. What rapper, when they rap, you feel like they describe things?
Conversation 2.5 hours in. Is that
real
what
quick?
You're doing right
real
now?
quick.
You
My bad. Should I say that?
Save that.
I'll say that. Okay, Lonzo Ball says Future Classic has more classic albums than Nas.
Next.
Hold on.
20. He's 20.
Hold on.
Next.
The nigga who's rounded Nas up for the last couple of months, Lonzo Ball will beat you the fuck up. Like, nigga, ain't no way in the world.
Well, you gotta think of who you got. He's 20 though.
You can't put 15 tracks together that can fuck with Illmatic. I'm sorry. And I like you.
Like y'all for talking about the episode 60. We really appreciate y'all. Like y'all Jordan for coming on. We gonna figure this thing out next week. We are not talking about Lonzo Ball, Future, and Nas.
We're not talking about Nas, yeah.
Not right now. What else I got quick?
Nas
I don't got nothing else quick.
Cool. In this shit. I gotta roll.
Gotta go.
I gotta go. I mean,
I love y'all.
I love you too.
Love y'all.
Peace.
Hold on. Why is Mike Teeth so white? Look like here we go and get this shit again. Like, this nigga his dentist is the fucking truth. Like I need that nigga dentist. Like this nigga teeth. Look. He backing up. Like you can't even see his face. That nigga teeth white like a motherfucker.
That's the juice. He juicing.
But that's what it is.
It happens everywhere. We start living right.
Yo, cool. You juicing like that?
No, just like me.
No, juice. Nigga just eating pretzels. Nigga eating pretzels like a motherfucker just now.
I've been juicing this week. I've been fucking with the ginger and the cayenne.
Said, I've been juicing this week. Nigga, did you have some fucking apple cider vinegar with that? The nigga said I had.
Yeah, apple cider vinegar. No, apple cider vinegar, ginger, and cayenne pepper.
I love y'all.
This nigga teeth. Hey, cool. Stop trying so fucking hard. Like you making it hot out here. All right, my bad.
All right, peace.
This is Brothers Talking Shit, episode 60. We like New Edition out here. This nigga, hey, look, Jordan is the Bobby Brown of this shit. Like, he come around when he wants to. Like, real shit. Real shit, like. No, matter of fact, no. Juice is Bobby. Jordan is
Johnny Gill.
Hell yeah. We can't give Juice all the time.
Yeah,
Jordan. Raw got to go pack. They go to Baltimore, and he ain't
There
doing
you
shit.
go telling my business, man. See, I ain't going to Baltimore. There you go. See?
My bad. This is brothers talking shit episode. I'm a snitch. I'm a snitch on the love. I'm a snitch on the love.
I know.
I've been with Tekashi. I've been ratting on niggas a long time.
Nah.
They finally caught me.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, shit. Hold up real quick. I need to get the football picks off.
Yeah.
You got
We
five?
gonna add it.
All
No. Bye.